So welcome back to part 2. We managed to have enough time in our recording day to do it in person this time, and we're going to pick up where we left off. So what's the theme of this next set of cards?
Yeah, so to recap, we took everything that was banned, used to be banned, used to be a game changer. Right now, where we are at is the used to be a game changer section, and then after that just comes either cards Wizards just talked about in bracket articles and stuff that we either heard from you or that we think is worth a conversation. So moving into it, we've got former game changer himself,
Gitaxias. Which Gitaxias?
This is the OG Gitaxias, Core Augur. He is a 10 mana 5/4 with flash. At the beginning of your end step, you draw 7 cards, and at the beginning, or in each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7.
It's 10 mana in blue, bud.
It's salt.
Yeah, it's salt.
Yeah, I agree. It's absolutely salt. The biggest complaint about it is being able to reanimate it early, and that sucks. But
they're taking 10.
It's true.
And then the other thing is, I just played against a guy who used this at the local LGS. It doesn't give you max hand size.
True.
So unless you're dumping your entire hand every turn, you're still discarding.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt you depending on what kind of deck you're playing.
So, yeah, card's annoying. That's all I got.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger, right?
This is just a card that... Well, let's go ahead and read it.
Yeah, so 8 mana 7/6 Trampler. Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana to your mana pool of any type that land could produce. And whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, that land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step.
So would that technically be mass land denial?
I think it is. Kind of. You can still use it. It's just temporarily delayed. And what normally happens when this hits the board is people just generally are really conservative about what they're doing until someone gets a removal spell. But in the meantime, if this gets back to the player's turn that played this, the game's probably going to end. Doubling your mana does a lot.
I want to say it's why in bracket 3. I mean, I get it. It's not anything super egregious, but it's more annoying than anything.
Yeah,
you can't in bracket 3 if that was a category.
It's so borderline on whether it counts or mass land denial or not that it kind of, I think, just gets pushed out of bracket 3 to some extent. But people probably aren't playing this in bracket 4 anymore.
No,
yeah.
I don't think it's. I mean, I think it's strong. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's that strong that it's it really. Maybe if you're playing low bracket 4, whatever the fuck that looks like. I don't know. I am down with wherever you guys want to put it.
I would put it in Salt Mines.
I agree with that.
To me, this is an 8 mana creature that doesn't win me the game when there's so many 8 mana creatures that kind of just do. Moonshaker Cavalry, Craterhoof Behemoth.
I'm putting it there for now. We'll
Finale,
come back to it.
right? Does Finale count in that realm?
Yeah, Finale.
Yeah.
Tooth and Nail costs 9.
True. Here's the thing. I always think of it as if I go to an LGS and I'm playing with people I don't know, what is their general reaction going to be towards the cards I'm playing?
Yeah. And that's kind of where the whole empathy and magic comes into play more than the bracket system.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a cool guy and play some really disgusting cards. Kind of says a lot about you if you're this is cool. This is instrumental in my strategy. Next card is Expropriate. Let's let you guys talk because I'm the only one that's actually played this on the channel.
I don't. This card is so close to actually being a game changer because this does fundamentally warp the game a little bit. But to me, I wouldn't put it as a game changer because this is a why are you playing it in bracket 3 card. This is
Matt.
Well, it's so close to also being a chaining extra turn card. It's people can choose not to give you that, but a lot of the times taking a permanent from everybody by the time you're casting this card is almost just as bad.
Yeah.
So, and as somebody who in a previous life played Surge to Victory exiling this because I discarded this earlier in the game and hit somebody with 6 creatures and cast this 6 times, this card, and I get that's a lot of setup for crazy shit, but this card does crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
That's
I think it's just a
haven card, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I should put that in Muddle.
Sure.
Surge Victory is a sick card, dude. I love that card so much. But yeah, I think it's just a why are you playing it bracket 3. Like, I think it just breaks the spirit a little bit because it is just like, oh, I'm getting my commander taken, or I'm giving you an extra turn, and all of this just don't feel good.
I want to put it in should be a game changer, just because it really does fundamentally change the game. You're taking 3 turns, taking 3 things, which could be people's commander that they now have to worry about blowing up, removing just so you can cast it again.
And it always gets you a turn because you yourself are always going to vote time, and then everyone else is doing it. So like,
that's what I'm saying. You're always. That's what I mean. You can just take everyone's commander and shut down whatever plan they have, and then make them spend resource.
Yeah, and then take an extra turn after doing so. Like, I mean, it used to be a game changer for a reason. I think it's debatable. I think it's, I don't know. I wouldn't put it back because it is like the 10-minute sorcery should win the game, but I think it is one of those, like, unlike Worldfire, which is goofy, or Sway the Stars, which is goofy. This is just, like, always a super feels bad.
So it's on par with all other blue cards. No, I'm kidding. My stance on it is I can see game changer. I thought the bracket above questionable was game changer. If there was a category between should be a game changer and salt mines of questionable for should be a game changer, that's how I feel. And a lot of the times it's the intent behind the card. Like, you can tell this card has a little bit of stipulation behind it. I played it in a Hitotsugu and Kairi game. You can probably see it here. Note to editor me and make a note of this timestamp. But, like, I'm not trying to rules lawyer it, but what is chaining extra turns? Is that just extra turn card, extra turn card, extra turn card until you run out? Or is it like, because in the Hitotsugu and Kairi game, I chained extra turns because I got like 15 result or activations or resolves of the ability of Hitotsugu and Kairi.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that people talk about when they don't really understand what defines that. I've had some people say it's like if you take any more than 1 extra turn, which I think is weird. And I'm also of the belief that if your win condition is taking infinite turns, that's actually almost disqualified because you're winning the game that way.
Yeah.
If you have infinite turns, you will assemble what you need to do to win the game.
Shout out Anala.
Whereas, like, if you have a deck that takes, like, a non-deterministic amount of turns, that is more frustrating than infinite turns in my book, right? Because 1 is obvious an indicator that the game's over.
Yeah.
Whereas non-deterministic, going through 10 turns of nonsense is not fun to face. And honestly, as someone who's played it, it's not that fun to play either, because it just gets to the point where you're trying to figure out all this stuff to make sure you win, and it's not guaranteed, so you have to go through it.
Especially if you don't win during.
That's like
that was your fault because you played the.
You're damn right it is.
I almost want to say.
Same with Abe's Teferi's Protection.
This is at the very top of salt mines for me because it's like it really depends on the intent behind the card, like the intent behind adding it to the card. If it's just like this is a big mana spell that you're going to play in your Simic deck, this could be considered one of your win cons. But if you can actually win off of getting that like turn or 2 or 3, I don't know. I'm down to default to wherever you guys put it, but I don't know if it's necessarily.
I think top of salt mines is fine. Like I said, I don't think it needs to be a game changer. I think it's one of those cards that's just so close to like doing the thing that bracket 3 is not supposed to do.
Yeah,
but it's so weird that they have the no chaining extra turns, but they took this off the game changers
and they
list.
Unbanned Panoptic Mirror.
Yeah, well, I hate Panoptic Mirror. I would rather not see it, but the card is arguably okay. You know.
Trouble in Pairs.
Trouble in Pairs.
Speaking of chaining extra turns, this card says "fuck you."
Yeah.
Where is this card?
I honestly think.
I think it's fine.
This is a free bird.
Yeah, this is a free bird.
I don't understand why it was a game changer in the first place.
Just because it, I think, shuts down a lot of.
It shuts down what, extra turns?
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that you can technically get 3 triggers, and that's like. Honestly, if you get all 3 triggers on this card, I am more concerned about what your opponent just did than whatever cards you drew off of this card most of the time.
Yeah, because like I have this in I think 1 or 2 decks, and it hasn't ever done anything for me. But that's because most of the time I'm playing bracket 3. I feel like it like CDH, yeah, it makes sense. But outside of that,
I don't even think they play it in CDH.
Well, that's what I mean. But if someone's doing any extra turn, it's like, hey, like, let me just shut down this section of your deck that focuses on that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Freebird, I agree. Freebird.
I'm putting it at the bottom of Freebird. I think this is the most Freebird card on that list.
White needs the help, man.
Yeah.
Don't take it. This is the best draw card White's ever gotten, and it's still not that great.
Yeah.
It's so conditional, and it's like your opponent has to be playing the game to get it.
Yeah, they have to be playing a little unfair, aside from the attack thing.
Yeah.
But like the rest of it, they have to be playing a little unfair.
I mean, you also have like effects that are similar to this with like Mangara the Diplomat and stuff.
Yeah,
I think it's completely fine. I don't even know why I got talked about.
Yeah.
If this kind of segues into the next card, but like if they printed this in like a few precons over the next few years, no one would ever be like, oh yeah, this should be talked about as a game changer. Because deflecting SWAT, you see what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
Which came from the precon. I think this is only game changer status because of...
Well, it's not a game changer.
No longer a game changer, but it was only a game changer because of the free cast, which is fine, but also at the same time, like, there's so many other of these types of effects. Like, I find myself in decks reaching for Untimely Malfunction over this card just because Untimely Malfunction hits more use cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more flexible.
I think it's top Freebird.
I think it belongs in Freebird, but under the stipulation that Fierce Guardianship should also go there, as we talked about.
Yeah, because it's so conditional.
This card has sometimes an even greater impact than Fierce Guardianship can. Mm-hmm. In most situations, I think when it's played. So, like, I don't mind it. I think free spells in general have disrupted the entire play pattern of Magic, but they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere because you just can't hit them all. So I would say put this in Freebird and put Fierce Guardianship in Freebird too. The only reason is because people are salty about counterspells.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. This is stronger.
I agree.
In most scenarios.
Yeah, I 100% agree because it's an Uno reverse card compared to like,
Yeah, instead of just stopping your Swords to Plowshares, I made you Swords your own creature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like that's just
cool.
so much worse.
Which is cool.
Our favorite.
Okay,
I got
so
words.
I know
Is this Soul Ring?
I'll open. Yeah, we're talking about Soul Ring. I'll open it up. A lot of times when I am on a tirade about Rhystic Study, which like again I want to say I'm not for banning cards, but like if there was cards to be banned, Rhystic Study and Necropotence need to be talked about. Drawing cards is the most powerful thing you could do in the game. But a lot of people are like, oh, or one of the common pushbacks I always hear is, oh, Rhystic Study is so like such a meme in the Magic community of do you pay the one that it's like it's iconic and they can't ban it for that reason, despite it being crazy strong. Soul Ring is completely under the radar for some reason. This card allows mana positive loops, which are playable in bracket 3. There's Teferi's Displacer Kitten lines that you can play with Soul Ring and get infinite colorless mana because it is a 1 mana that taps for 2.
Mirror Welder.
If this card wasn't printed in literally every single precon, if there wasn't some sort of Soul Ring, like every other secret lair or whatever the hell, like this card would be like in the same problem with the Moxes, where it's like, why would you not run it? You should try playing some decks without running it.
I mean, I said my logic, and the same thing with Mana Crypt. This card should not be allowed. When I've played a good chunk of Vintage Cube, there is a reason Soul Ring is always pack 1, pick 1 over the power 9. Because it is so much of an advantage, particularly in 1v1. So I know Commander's not so much. But
because of the life, right?
Yeah, because it beats out Mana Crypt because it doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and you only have 20 life, which actually matters when it talks about Mana Crypt. But it's just, I know they never will. And I know Magic players and a lot of the Commander community would be like, oh, it's so iconic. Personally, I don't care if something's iconic or not. If it's a problem, if it makes games that much worse, or, as we know, creates such a stilting win rate when somebody opens it compared to other players, this card should not be allowed. I think it's like 70% of games, a player who opens Sol Ring wins.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, there is a crazy statistic where it does dramatically increase your chances of winning, opening this card when your opponents don't.
So, interesting story I've heard. My friend told me they watched a video recently where people have house rules. And the house rule is either you can mulligan however you want, like you do the London mulligan or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if someone else turn 1 Sol Ring, everyone else gets to search their deck and play a Sol Ring.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
And the fact that this card makes people want to do that shows that it's problematic. Yeah.
Well, it's specifically just with that rule, and this is the reason why I say it's dumb as shit. Because everybody then who didn't play that Sol Ring basically just +1'd.
Yep.
And the person who played the Sol Ring negged. That sucks. Yep. That's dumb. But yeah, the fact that people are creating rules to get around how much of an advantage this card gets means it's a problem.
Yeah, solely for the sake of feels bad.
Yeah,
it's in fucking 7.37 million out of 8 million or 8.83 million decks, 83.5%. I wanted to show the drasticness of it.
Well, and anybody who's not running it is wrong.
Yeah.
They're doing it intentionally to either accommodate to their play group, or they're trying to make some kind of statement, and just don't do that.
I'm going to put this here just for the conflict in case someone skips ahead in the video and is like, what the fuck? They're going to scroll back and see us talk about it. I'm putting it up here, but really, I think
it should be. I really think it should just be banned. I think the game, like when Mana Crypt was banned and Jewel Lotus was banned, Commander games got better. They got more fun. They got more fair. I think the same thing would happen if you banned Sol Ring. If they just bite the bullet, rip off the Band-Aid, get rid of this card, Commander gets more fun.
Yeah.
I think I want to see that world. I want to open a portal and see what Commander is like in a post Sol Ring world.
So I want to say this just for the people who don't agree with this. Obviously it's a great card, and there are games where people are playing colors where they're not ramping, or maybe missed a land drop here and there. So this kind of evens the odds in those situations.
Except it doesn't, because the people who ramp can also just play this card too.
That's true, but
and people who complain about ramp outside of green just play rocks. There are cards that let you do these things. Like Archaeomancer's map is fantastic. I play so many Signets, Thran Dynamos. We still have Mana Vault, and
I got on people in the last video for running a bunch of rocks. We can't switch.
No.
Devin's saying it, not me.
You should not cut lands for rocks. That's not how that works. But playing a bunch of rocks because you have no access to other ramp because you're not green makes sense. The amount of ramp you would play in your green deck is the number of rocks you should play in your non-green deck. But don't cut lands for it. You're not playing CDH where your entire deck functions on 3 lands and the best mana rocks in the game, right?
Yeah, true.
We don't get to do that. But yeah, I agree with you. Don't cut lands for mana rocks. You can play a shit ton. I don't care.
Especially because no one likes or wants land destruction, and it's so heavily regulated. It's just it's free real estate, literally.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next card?
Alms Collector.
Alms Collector, yeah.
Is this something you put on here?
Yes. So yeah, we've gotten out of the.
We talked about putting.
Yeah, I think we've gotten out of the everything that's been talked about, and now we're talking about stuff that we've put.
What is Alms Collector?
So Alms Collector.
If someone were to draw a card, instead you both draw one.
Kind of. It's very
Rude Clive. That's all I know.
It's very, very specific. So this is a 4-mana 3/4 cat. Not irrelevant. That has flash, and it says if an opponent would draw 2 or more cards, instead you and that player each draw a card. So it doesn't shut down individual card draw, things like Crystic Study, Mystic Remora. But if someone would draw 2 or more, you each draw 1.
I hate this card solely for the fact that I play Clive. But that's a very biased opinion.
I like Draw Punish. If you really get into the nitty gritty of advantage and what advantage means, a lot of times when you say advantage, you think card advantage or advantage on the board or advantage in terms of mana. And another thing people don't think about as much, despite it being as important, is advantage in the hand. A lot of people don't like combo players because they're able to keep advantage in their hand and you just never see it. So it's hard to know. And you can feel it with each turn ticking down as you get more experience when a combo player is getting close and you need to start holding pieces to stop the combo player. And the only real way to stop the combo player is either make them discard or limit their ability to card draw. So I am completely fine, despite public and popular opinion, of having cards that are not game changers that targeting card draw. Sorry that took me so long to say.
One thing I think that'd be funny is if you do run this card, run Force Fruition.
Yeah.
I do like that. I would say the reason why they mentioned this in the article is because it is so adjacent to things like Notion Thief, Hull Breacher, which is banned, Narset now being a game changer, that they talked about it. And to me, it reminds me of what we talked about in part 1. If Hull Breacher was in white, would it be a problem? I think this is the closest we get to this argument, and it is allowed. Yeah. It is not quite as strong because it doesn't shut down individual, additional card draw. But, it still creates the one thing that they hate the most with those, which is if you wheel everybody, their hands are just screwed.
Yeah.
So, the ceiling of this card is the same as the rest of them. Particularly, I would say the ceiling of this card is the same as Notion Thief. You only draw 3 additional cards, but it doesn't matter. You've depleted your opponent's entire resources. So, to me, I think this should be Freebird. I know some people are going to say Salt Mines.
I was going to say Under Sway of the Stars.
Yeah, we can put it there.
Maybe even... No, it goes over Trinosphere for me. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
I think if you're upset about this card, you should also be upset about Avid Mind Sensor.
Yeah.
I don't think that's on here, but we probably.
But for the same reason of you tried to do X, and I say nah.
Well, and to me, this card is justification for Narset probably shouldn't be a game changer, because to me, Narset has the same level of impact as this one. Because Narset doesn't necessarily get you the advantage off of this.
Yeah, but Narset's cheaper.
Cheaper, and she doesn't have flash.
True.
Right,
I think one for flash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next is Green Suns.
Okay. Green Sun and by extension Finale of Devastation.
Yeah.
Because they paired them all together. So I only included one, but it is important that it's anything that is a scalar tutor that puts something into play.
That one, Rhythm of the Wild or whatever, that has Harmonize on it, that's also really good.
The new one? Yeah. The new Court of Calling is cool.
Yeah. I think this card functionally wins you the game, and it's hard to use the fact that it tutors for something as a reason why it should be or should not be a game changer, because we have made the inverse argument of crop rotation, where it's just make the thing you would go find a game changer. But this is in green, bro. You can find those fucking boars that give you +2/+2 trample haste. You can find
Craterhoof.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But you're spending 16 mana at that point to do it.
Yeah.
17 technically.
No, 9. What do you mean?
Yeah, 9.
Just 9.
It just goes to hand, though, right?
No, it goes into play.
Oh, I lied.
With haste on Finale.
Bro, this is my turn 1 ramp. Have you not?
No,
turn 1 Dryad Arbor, baby.
I think it's fine. It's one of the things when people tutor for cards, you don't counter the tutor. You let them burn the tutor and then counter the thing they tutored.
Yeah,
for.
I think the only thing with these, I think this is the opposite, though. I think you counter.
Yeah, you counter this tutor,
right? Because skipping it and coming straight into play is tough.
But I was saying that in terms of banning it. It's we don't ban the thing that we don't ban this going to look for stuff. We ban the thing. Or game changer the thing.
The answer.
Yeah.
I would say, speaking of, we're going to talk about the card that is most egregious with these.
I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it below Eureka. Because it is more problematic than Gitaxias for me.
Gitaxias doesn't win you the game.
Yeah.
Well, this can.
Yeah.
Yeah, this can win you the game enough, but I think it speaks more to the cards you're grabbing. Because if someone grabs an Enraged Forerunners,
Mm-hmm.
That's the card.
Yeah, I'm not mad about that one.
Yeah.
Someone grabs a Craterhoof. Craterhoof's the most egregious thing
but it's
to
like,
grab with
that's
that.
true. Yeah.
Do we want to just talk about Craterhoof now then?
Yeah, let's just skip to Craterhoof then.
Yeah, because like this is a card they have talked about a lot about becoming a potential game changer.
My only gripe with this card is I think it's fine. You maybe jump the shark here. I just think that if this is your only way to win, your deck is boring.
I mean, it's just if you think about green decks, and it's
all reliable,
but it fits the bill. Yeah. This is what your daddy's been using. You know, your grandpappy knew. So just let it. It's fine. I think it's fine. And
I was gonna say I had more issue with this card until we got what was it? What's the cavalry card?
Moonshaker Cavalry.
Moonshaker Cavalry, because this was so narrowly applied to green in terms of giving such a massive amount of power. I was a little more concerned about it. I think this card is okay. I think, defaulting to this card does make, I encourage you to make better deck building decisions. It's not to say that you can't play this card, but I think this is the easiest one to win with, and it does just win out of nowhere. And I think there's another conversation, and I saw this, and we can talk about it later, about the increased prevalence of board wipes that's starting to come back. And I think cards like this, within the context of Bracket 3, that do win the game out of nowhere with just a board in play, is the reason we're seeing more of that. So now it's like, if you see someone with 5 creatures, you're like, they're playing green, you now have to respect it, even if it's not threatening at the time. So I think it's okay.
I think it's bottom of Freebird.
I would put it closer to the top of... I would put it under Flash. I think this card is like...
That's just because you play Metalworker.
Well, what else is in there?
Metalworker, Deflecting Swat, Painter's Servant, Winota, and Trouble Pairs.
I'd put it at least over Deflecting Swat.
Yeah.
I'll give you Metalworker, but to be fair, I didn't play Metalworker. I turned my things into a Metalworker. That is very different.
Yeah.
Egregious.
I think it strikes the heart of the issue a lot of the times, and why people feel the need to have this as their sole game ender is because I see a lot of the time people play, either they go a lot into counters and they don't give keywords, or the better side is they have a lot of keywords but they don't have the ability to counters. Like, it doesn't matter if you make a 1,000,000 if I can chump it with a 1/1 goblin,
That's true.
Yeah.
What's this next card?
So this is it is Grave Pact, and by extension Dictate of Erebos, and I would also say by extension Sulthera the Super Void,
and Butcher of Malakir.
And Butcher doesn't count. Butcher costs 7.
But what we're not going to get into who has what decks, but I only run Butcher and Marin.
Well, it's funny because in the game we just played, which spoiler, but Martyr's Bond 2. Right, which is a card that I think most people don't know about.
True.
But it's basically White Grave Pact, but it's for everything.
Oh.
Right.
I think this card is it's very salty, and I have a Bracket 4 Sauron deck where the whole idea is people cast spells, you make a 1/1, you have a sack outlet and this on the field, and you stasis the board and build your advantage until you can combo. And it's pretty smothering. It is a pretty smothering effect. I think a more fair version of this is being able to loop effects like Fleshbag Marauder. I just think the Grave Pact type effects are rarely ever feels good to play against.
Yeah, I would put these in salty. I don't think there's a reason to make them game changers, because these always require some level of engine setup too. But the decks that use it do abuse the hell of it. And even Savra, Queen of the Golgari, has done some damage, as we've showcased in some of the games on this channel. But I think there's so many of these effects now that you can't really just take out one.
Yeah.
And they're annoying. I think this is one of those things, it's a conversation with your play group.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I think it's
especially
not
if you're running all of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you're running all of them, you need to go to therapy.
I think I try to, if I'm playing a Great Pact, I could usually play 2.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You can run that and Dictate of Erebos, but then if you're running the Supernova and all that other stuff, it's okay.
So the Super Void is a sick card.
Calm down.
More people should play that card.
I agree. I enjoy it. I think that's probably the most flavorful version of this.
Yeah. Well, and it kills itself if there's nothing in play of your opponent.
So a board wipe just turns it off.
Yeah, Well, they get a card out of it, but
it gets rid of the Great Pack effect.
It is probably the most fair amongst these, because even Sovereign is gross.
I think this is a perfect gatekeeper between high and low
Bracket
salt
3,
mines.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Because most of the time, like your deck, like you can't just slap this in any old deck. Your deck has to do something where you're willing to lose creatures, which is a pretty good amount of archetypes.
All right. So next is what, Mystic Grimoire?
Yeah.
Mystic Fish.
Mystic Grimoire is fine.
Mystic Grimoire is completely fine.
It's completely fine.
Yeah, it's free bird.
Listen, I see people play this early, and most of the time they get a card or two and then just get rid of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is the Rhystic Study problem, but so much easier to mitigate because it does destroy itself eventually.
Yeah. Go ahead and play this card on turn 7. Tell me how it feels.
Pretty bad.
It's fine.
I don't know.
No, I mean as the caster.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel.
Depends. Am I playing Enchantress?
Are you playing and I'm casting it?
No. If I'm playing Enchantress and I play this, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, like seeing this card late game feels bad. Like seeing this card on like turn 3 or 4 often feels bad.
You hit such a crazy when you get this early.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You get it early and you maybe draw 3 cards, and then what you're going to...
Well, and truthfully, if someone plays this on their turn 1, everyone should just sit around until they decide to kill it. Like, don't be greedy.
Yeah.
This is playing around Rhystic Study, but made easy for you because it has a timer.
Yeah.
Okay, for this next card, Devin's not allowed to talk.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to talk. I will say this is something that they've talked about being a game changer, but I guess that's all I'm allowed to talk about. It was at one point,
wasn't it?
I think they did take it off.
Yeah, it was.
So Mana Drain, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I think it is just purely better counterspell. But the fact that it is not free makes me think that it does not deserve a game changer slot. I think game changer slots should be because you do not change the way that you are playing as a mana drain versus a normal counterspell if you see 2 mana up versus if someone's like, hey, I have Fierce Guardianship or any of the free counterspells. You physically have to play differently knowing those cards are in that person's deck.
So I disagree. And the reason why is I think at least it should be unquestionable is because it can strongly warp a game. Say your turn 4, you play your 2-cost dork or something, and then you have this in hand, and the next is like, oh, I play my 4-cost commander. You just doubled your mana next turn. And you made their commander cost 2 more. So I think it at least has... I don't want to say it's Salt Mine, I don't want to say it's Freebird, but I definitely think there should be some kind of awareness to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it does change the game in a sense, because
being
able to double your mana off someone trying to just do what they were going to do anyways is strong. Very strong. Especially if you abuse it with Ishikron Scepter. Then you're an asshole. But
that's just being an asshole.
Then you're an asshole. But I definitely don't, because I definitely think it should be above Salt Mine.
I'm going to say Grave Pact is the maker
the bar for Salt Mine
for questionable as a game changer. That's just how. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah. No, I like that. I wouldn't put Worldfire in questionable. I don't think Worldfire is questionable. Okay. Sway the Stars is much more annoying than Worldfire because Worldfire is the sudden death, whereas Sway the Stars is just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
We're playing a mini game now.
Yeah, we basically played Shahrazad.
This next card is a card that I put on here.
They also talked about it. Great Henge has been mentioned in bracket articles. So
let me make my case, and then I'll give my opinion. Because those are two different things. I don't know if you guys knew that. Mm-hmm. My case on it is this card, in the decks that it is played, because you are playing green, have access to cast this for functionally close to 2 mana. Most of the time, probably 2 mana. And so that means it is a free mana rock that gives you 2 life every time you tap it. It lets you draw cards. So it is free to play and then draw cards. And also gives you +1/+1s. It does everything that green needs to do for functionally free or close to free. I would pay 5 to 6 mana for this effect, even if it didn't have its cost reduction. So the fact that you can get it for free is the reason why I put it on here. I do think it is very much a bracket 3, bracket 4 powerhouse card, like low bracket 4 powerhouse card. And I think it would be more interesting to deck building conversations in bracket 3 or deck building decisions in bracket 3 if this was a game changer, because then it doesn't have the Mox problem. Why would you not run these?
Yeah, I think this one is like, I would honestly put this in like, to me, it's a free bird because
I agree.
Like,
fully agree.
To your point, yeah, frequently decks will play this for 2 mana, but I find myself usually playing it for about 4.
It's an artifact at the end of the day. It's very easy to get rid of.
Devin just played a whole game where no one touched his artifact.
Like 13 artifacts in play?
Yeah, but I wasn't playing. I don't have.
And we all played red too.
Yeah, I just dodged Vandal Blast all game. It was great.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that this is probably one of Green's powerhouse cards.
I'm just saying,
but I don't think it's enough that it's, like, it's very similar to Guardian Project with the exception of the fact that it produces mana
and gives counter.
To me, the 2 life is negligible, and the +1/+1 counters in most things are relatively negligible.
The main reason I'm mad at this is it's Guardian Project for free, more or less.
It can be. I would say though, like, when this card comes into a position and your board sucks, I don't want to pay 7 mana for this card.
Yeah.
For 7 mana, I can play Zendikar Resurgent, which is better.
That's like, I think it's very conditional, because I mean, like, I run it in decks like my Dino deck. Anything, as he was saying, that is going to have beat sticks in it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if I can get to that point, but if I have that card in my starting hand, I'm dreading having it.
I need Sheldon and them boys. It's Sheldon, right?
So he passed away.
Oh,
but yeah.
Fuck. What's it? Gavin. I need Gavin.
Gavin.
Okay, cut that. I need Gavin and the boys to do some internal research and see how often this card gets paid or played for more than 4 mana. I don't know how the hell they're going to do that. Talk to the guys at EDH Rec. But if this card gets played in most cases under 4 mana, I think it is Guardian top project here. But if it is played mostly for the 2 mana, I think it deserves to be talked about or thought about.
Well, I think it really depends on how early it comes down, right? Because people are going to be spending more the earlier it comes down. I think when this comes down on like turn 6 or 7, we've lost a lot of its impact.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it goes... Okay, I'll compromise at Freebirds. But I say it goes above Craterhoof.
Oh, for sure.
I think
for
it's
sure.
top of Freebird.
I think Flash... Well, we said Flash was really dependent on...
Flash is only in Freebird because we say that Protean Hulk should go back to being banned.
Yeah.
If Protean Hulk's not banned, we cannot have Flash back.
How would they put it? Because it's also, as I said, it's very conditional, and like, unless you're playing something like Yargle Multani, a 4 cost that's guaranteed to give it to you.
Yeah.
It's not. You actually have to get to a point, because basically, like, if I play Jisath, I'm already spending 8 mana to get him out.
Yeah.
And then I get, like, oh, cool, now I get 2 extra life and a little extra mana.
I wouldn't call this very conditional. I would say it's somewhat conditional.
True.
Because this is one of the... In Henzi, the play pattern is right, you blitz something, and then from blitzing it, you need to have advantage that sticks once the blitz fades off. This is the primo blitz card.
Yeah.
Or blitz, stick around advantage card.
But to me, that's fine, right?
That's fine, yeah.
You're using your commander to cheat in things that make this a 2 mana card.
I think the splitting point that we're having is that I am viewing this in most cases to be a 2 mana tap for 2 life +1/+1 draw card, which disgusting. It literally sounds like a custom Magic subreddit
it does.
card. Whereas you guys are like, well, you might pay like 4 or 5 for it.
No, I'm saying I'm paying for 2 every time, but it's just...
I'm never paying 4 or 5 for this. In the decks that I'm putting this in, I'm never paying 4 or 5.
I think I'm usually probably 4 or 3. Like, Aerith has this. I don't think I've ever played it for 2 in Aerith. Because if I'm at the point where I'm paying 2 for an Aerith, I'm probably already winning the game. Right?
Okay. I just wanted to talk about it. I thought it was...
Yeah, I mean, it's a card
that
that's worthy of discussion. There's a reason they've mentioned it. I think now we're in the cards that we've picked. We've moved out of what things Wizards has referenced. And the first one is Urza's Saga.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's
gross. It can, it can find your answer, but it takes 3 turns to do its thing.
We talked about this with
And it sacks itself.
We talked about this with frickin'
Definitely.
Green Sun Zenith. It's like
no, I mean this card does nothing if Soul Ring's banned.
This card does nothing.
Well, you can find like your Moxes.
Right, so it becomes a lot more utility, which is where this card I think is fantastic. I love this card, particularly like Marchesa. It's great. I have like 10 1-cost artifacts.
This is bottom of Freebird for me, bro.
Does it go to hand or does it?
It comes into play.
It comes into play.
So it's essentially paying 1 for a Soul Ring 3 turns.
Yeah, this card was only really egregious when everybody had a Mana Crypt and a Soul Ring.
Yeah.
Like this can grab you your Mana Vault, which is cool, but most people who play Mana Vault are doing like a combo with it. So like this is just a weird like with Soul Ring around, that's usually what just gets grabbed. In Bolas of Citadel decks, we have Sensitive Divining Top, but like whatever.
It ramps you 1 mana if you go get the Soul Ring.
Right. Like it's a great consistency piece for utility.
It's the same as playing a land for it. It's just
yeah.
And this is the thing. People aren't in bracket 3 usually turn 1 Urza Saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not modern and we're not playing Amulet.
Yeah.
It's cool that it can get you Amulet.
It can get you Amulet of Vigor, which is awesome.
Card, make the construct. For the love of God, no one makes the construct.
It depends.
I
love making the construct.
Yeah, but that's the thing is people play this turn 1, not having color still, just so they can have the turn 3 Soul Ring.
I mean, that's not bad.
It's not bad,
It's
but
not
you
bad.
better hope you better pray you don't have a 3-color commander.
This next is Rule of Law, right?
So yeah, it's Rule of Law and all of the things that are like it, because there's too many of them.
Yeah.
There are so many cards.
So all law effects.
Yeah, anything that says like you can only play 1 spell a turn, or you can only play like 1 non-creature spell, like Deafening Silence was a card that we talked about.
Oh yeah.
This, to me, all of these effects are just salt mines.
All right, we're done. I did it for us.
I think you can play this in bracket 3.
No, I was.
This
I
is
was
just
doing
salt
this for
mines.
jokes.
People
Yeah.
are just salty.
I'm going to put it.
And that's the thing. I think it becomes
above Grave Pact.
Sure.
more problematic when you're running like 5 versions of these in a deck.
So what?
Yeah.
After a certain point, they become redundant.
There are strategies that are played in bracket 3 where I think it is good to run Stax pieces as a sub theme, like Voltron, for example. I think Stax is really good in Voltron because once you get your shit down, you want to pull the ladder up as fast as possible.
True. Yeah, like I would run this in like Lightning.
Yeah. Because like that's kind of what I was saying with like Tabernacle. I was like in Voltron, this Tabernacle is a fucking powerhouse card. It's just they don't print Tabernacle anymore.
Yeah. I think this falls under the same vein of people don't like being told they can't do things. In the same way that people get salty about counterspells for really what is just a removal spell. You don't like your stuff being removed. To me, people who are mad about this, it slows the game down.
Yeah.
Right? That is all it does.
Actually, I think it would functionally speed the game up. If motherfuckers can only play 1 card a turn, they don't have to be like, I have to do this and then this and that. They'd be like, okay, I just play this. Do my combat.
No, but then you're listening to 5 minutes of bitching.
True. That's the extended time that we get from this card. Yeah, I think these cards are fine. In fact, there are instances where I really like them.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
Cool.
Next.
The next one is Esper Sentinel.
It's fine.
Yeah, a lot of people have a problem with this card, and I don't.
I'm not trying to single viewers out. Did one of our friends put this on here?
No, one of them was Authority of the Consuls, and I got words for that person.
John.
Oh, yeah.
John P.
Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well,
Authority of the
Sentinel's fine.
Consuls?
People are just upset because if you get it turn 1, it's like, oh, man. Now it's
no, my creature...
It's a Ristic Study. Get over it.
No, it's not. It's way worse.
Well,
It's
but
way
that's the
worse.
thing. It's like a turn 1 Ristic Study
The
that's
only-
like, oh,
the
do you
only-
pay 1?
No.
Okay.
The only people who care about Authority of the Consuls are people who are playing aggro,
True.
right? Because it's just, oh no, I no longer have haste.
Or
Yeah,
blind
you need to-
obedience and on anything
Right.
You
like
need
that,
to, it's like you have to be more conservative with your combat. It's like I think you just need to step outside of combat-centric metas and be willing to play other win cons.
Well, I think it also depends on what you built. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
playing Gruul, then fuck
Yeah.
you. But
Yeah, but even then, okay, I'm stalled for a turn.
yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. You hate this card enough? Just play Amulet of Vigor.
The only defense I could think about that would be like,
We're not,
oh, this
we're
card
not talking
sucks,
about authority consoles right
is
now.
what's that?
yeah, no.
What's-
We might as well throw it into the salt.
Yeah.
What's
You know
that? March of Machines
towards the
duo. Satoru and Go and something.
Yeah, Goro,
it's Satoru and Goro.
Yeah, like that turns off your whole deck.
Sure.
Yeah. So I get that, but then you need the cards that are like, oh, the center's tapped and attacking.
It's funny that he mentioned this card specifically when I think Blind Obedience is
the more egregious version.
Yeah, because it's like Blind Obedience lets you actually have like mana payoff.
Correct.
To win games.
I think we could just go ahead and toss this next to Esper Sentinel because like Esper Sentinel is not even close.
This goes below Urza Saga.
Oh yeah, no, it is the freest of free. And all effects like it are the freest of free, but to circle back on Esper Sentinel because we didn't really talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just so much worse than Mystic Study in so many ways. Because it can only happen once.
Yeah.
Right? If Mystic Fish is fine, Esper Sentinel's even more fine.
I agree.
You know?
It is funny when he gets really big and someone's like, do you pay 12? And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, you get one free card.
Congrats, it's doing the same thing Mystic Fish is doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, go ahead, let that 12-12 swing.
But even more limited.
Yeah.
So it's only once a turn.
Oh, Skullclamp. This is...
Okay.
I think this is a bottom of salt mines for me.
I think this...
I don't think it's necessarily a salty card. You have to do a lot. Not a lot. You need to... The decks that make the best use of this jump through hoops to get those 2 cards.
Really? They just need any token generator.
Bro, this... I think it is Salt Mines. I'm not going to say... This card is not Game Changer worthy.
No.
But, like, I still remember, like, one of the greatest engines that has even stood the test of time is Bitter Blossom in this card.
Yeah.
That just says pay 1 mana, draw 2 cards every turn.
Yeah.
It's insane, but, like...
I think the strength of a card is really, like... Either it's like it's just ever-present use, like it's always useful in a deck, like aka the Mox problem.
Yeah.
Or the amount of other cards it needs in order for it to be useful. And it's like Skullclamp's good, but it's not doing anything by itself. It needs, something that makes 1/1s, or like it needs to have like creatures that are cool with dying, or like even like in fucking elves this could be played.
That's what I'm saying. It's mostly anything that just makes tokens, because I feel like with like reassembling skeleton and stuff like that, like it's just not mana efficient at that point.
No, what do you mean? I'm casting divination every turn.
Yeah.
That's fine. In fact, that's what we had back in the day. That's how we did things.
This is like I was almost going to call it like ancestral recall for people who like are cool with scamming life insurance.
The future is now, old man.
I know. Skullclamp's, it's a fun fact though. When this card was being designed, originally they wanted it to be +1/+1, but they thought that was too good, so they changed it to +1/-1, not realizing what was gonna happen.
Oh no! Very like a lot less decks would be.
I mean, this is a very good card. Like if you watch Game Changers, or not Game Changers, Command Zone.
Yeah.
They did like a pick 5 artifacts as the only ones you can use the rest of your life. They all basically fought over Skullclamp.
Yeah.
So it's a great card. It has its use, but I just think there's a certain niche that it has to go in. So therefore, as a card as a whole, it's not anything egregious.
It's kind of like the Seedborn thing. You have to build your deck around it.
Exactly.
A little bit,
What's this next card?
Is that... Oh, that's Sylvan Impersonal Tutor.
What?
Oh, you guys know. Okay. So Personal Tutor, because that's the blue one next to it. It is 1 blue mana, search your library for a sorcery card, reveal it, put it on top, or shuffle and then put it on top. Sylvan Tutor is the same for creatures. So
so it's Mystical Tutor for creatures.
1 mana, it's Imperial Seal without the life loss for either sorceries or creatures. That's what these 2 cards are. I only put these here because they are so close and so similar to the other 1 mana tutors that I was surprised they weren't included in being game changers.
True.
Because they are... I get it, they're not instant speed. And I think that is a huge difference. Don't get me wrong.
I think we painted ourselves into a corner. Sorry to cut you off.
Why?
I think if we're saying... Because originally I'm thinking we need to be consistent with the other tutors that we picked.
Yeah.
So this should be a game changer.
I agree.
But Green Sun Zenith is basically saying personal tutor and then pay the mana cost of the creature you're going to find, and it comes into play. So it's essentially
I think that's different. Because you have to have that amount of mana, right? I think this being a 1 that you can set up so early in the game is the difference maker.
Just to have it in your hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, here's the question. Are they instants or sorceries?
They're sorceries.
Okay, I think this goes below the Green Sun Zenith then.
You think it's just salt mines? Like, to me, to be honest, to be fair, I think the 1 mana tutors don't necessarily need to be game changers unless they are universal. That's kind of a... Right, and I think these are kind of the linchpin argument of where do you draw the line.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I wouldn't draw the line at these at all. Like, to me, Enlightened Tutor, particularly when we're talking about bracket 3, I don't mind things like Enlightened Tutor and Mystical Tutor. I think where I draw the line is the Black Tutors because they are universal, right?
Yeah.
Imperial Seal, Vampiric
these are
Tutor, and Demonic Tutor. The unconditional tutors are so much stronger than these.
It does feel really bad to run a Mystical Tutor as your game changer, and like, is it? Because there's so many good red and blue.
Yeah. Like to me, they're just never making the cut anymore. And I think if people are in a world where a game changer is never being played in bracket 3, it probably shouldn't be one anymore.
Yeah.
You know? And I think these cards are kind of a good highlight as to the existence of that.
Let me look something up. You can keep talking. I have an idea.
Okay. So, I don't know. To me, I think if these are off, the non-universal tutors that exist on the Game Changer list should also come off, which I think is Mystical, Enlightened, Worldly, and Gamble.
Okay, you can't check it on EDHREC, but I was going to go look and see. Mystical Tutor, for example, has an 11.7% inclusion rate in decks.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about the fact that it's played in almost every blue CDH deck.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of bracket 4 decks.
Of bracket 4 decks. I want to see how many people are still playing it in bracket 3. Like, how many people are saying this card makes the cut? Because it's like, if I really need this effect, but I'm strapped for Game Changers, I can just go play Solve the Equation. Which is like, it sucks, but it's like, I get the tutor effect I was looking for. You know? I think this is below... I mean...
Yeah, Green Sun and Finale of Devastation are definitely better than both of these. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, it's like... I think these provide even more of an argument for what we said before, where the 1 mana tutors probably shouldn't be game changers.
Game changers, yeah.
You know?
I think at the time, it made sense.
No, I don't even think it made sense at the time.
You want to just skip straight to Eldmari's Call?
Yes.
Well, I think Eladamri's Call is included in this argument too.
Okay.
This just puts a creature in hand, right?
It's a 2 mana instant. Grab a creature, put it in your hand. Right. This card is so
because it's instant. I'm putting it above the.
I was going to say, I think Eladamri's Call, in my opinion, is better than Worldly Tutor. It is 1 more mana, but it gets it to your hand. The only reason I think it's not on the Game Changers list is because it's 2 colors. But truthfully, that doesn't matter that much when we're talking about the power level of a card.
It does limit the amount of times the card can pop up, though.
Sure, but like that's not a reason to say the card is not as good.
This is why you run Codex Shredder.
Hey, I mean, Codex Shredder does shut down all those cards. That's kind of funny. I love Codex Shredder. I don't know. All of these, cheap tutors, particularly ones that go to the top of your deck, are just not. To me, they're not enough to be game changers.
Especially if they're sorcery speed.
Yeah,
you know what?
These two in particular.
These being sorcery speed is actually bringing it down for me to like. Here. It's just, I feel like I'd rather play all of those cards than sorcery speed, play a tutor to put it on the top of my library, and then have my opponent make me shuffle my library.
Yeah. I mean, in truth, yeah.
Chaos Warp, which you'll see in a lot more decks.
But, like, I think to just further accentuate the point, with all those tutors, when am I ever playing it over, like, Rhystic Study, Cyclonic Rift, and Fierce Guardianship? Never. Literally never. So, I just... Free the tutors, man. They're just...
What is next?
Oh, that is personal tutor. We didn't put it in. That's the... We talked about it. Okay. Yeah, it's personal tutor. Boop. Right in there. Okay. Next is... a kind of a grouping of cards I put in here too. I have Phyrexian Altar here because I think it is the most egregious version, but by extension, Ashnod's Altar, and I'm also going to include Karklan Ironworks to my own detriment.
Karklan Ironworks, I feel like I was going to say should be separated, but because you can do some really fucking weird things with it, but functionally is the same type of card.
Salty. It's not, I mean, yes, it can change the game, and yes, it can have its strength, but your deck's built towards that whole point.
So
I want to say it's like top of Salty, like near the very top, but I don't want to say it's anything near a game changer.
I disagree by a very wide margin, and there's a couple reasons why.
I just think because there's so many of them that it's also hard to say, like...
Not quite. There are only 3 that generate mana for free.
Yeah, but they're colorless.
No, Phyrexian Altar generates colored mana.
Yeah, that one. Obviously, yes, that was the most conditional, but the other ones give you mostly colorless mana.
So you also got Warren Soul Trader now.
That one costs you life.
Yeah.
That means it's not as insane.
Yeah, but would you pay 1 life to draw 1 card?
Well, and doesn't that make a treasure?
Yeah.
That's also not the same. And the reason why it's not the same is because, and this is a really weird rules interaction that I'm just going to expose a lot of people to. These are mana abilities, which means they do not use the stack. And you can do some really weird, I want to call it fuck shit, because it's really the only thing you can describe it, where you can declare that you are casting a spell or activating an ability, sack as many things as you want to generate the mana to activate that ability, and it causes all those things to each other. So, like, this is the key behind the Karklan Ironworks loop.
Yeah.
Where you choose that you are activating ability, you sack Scrap Trawler, Mirror Retriever, and whatever else you want at the same time, so they do all see each other, so they can all grab each other back. You can do the same thing with Phyrexian and Ashnod Altars with other creature loops, which just pushes it so far above and beyond. Not to mention, there's just no good window to interact with these. They're all colorless. They are only ever used unfairly. I get that they are not necessarily the most insane thing in the world. I understand that this is very a personal opinion. The game, Commander in general, would be so much more interesting and so much more healthier if these cards did not exist.
I knew about the mana ability thing, but it's like it's not something that ever really crosses my mind when I am deck building, even though that is part of its strength.
But I think for the sake of what we're doing and talking about is it a game changer or not, I don't think it is.
I think it should be banned. I think the game of Commander gets so much better with those cards gone.
I see what you're saying, because like that type of style isn't mine.
Yeah.
So I never really gravitate towards that anyways. But I just think that they can't ban them.
Well, they can.
They can make that decision and type it in a box.
These 3 are the only ones I'm really concerned about. And truthfully, it's more so... Like, Karklan Ironworks is a lot more, like, centralized.
Well, isn't Phyrexian Tower is a land itself, right?
Yeah, but you can only use it once. These are unrestricted.
True.
These things are the centerpieces for so many really obnoxious infinite combos and dodge so many things. They dodge so many things. It's always so frustrating when someone plays one because you have to remove it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like that thought process on it though, and using the actual rule abuse is like not by itself bracket 4 and bracket 5, but like.
Oh, it's absolutely bracket 4.
Yeah, it is bracket 4. So it's like, because most of the time, Timmy Two Shoes, me, is using this fucking card to just, sack shit to. And I'm like, oh, okay. Sometimes I don't even care if I get the mana.
Yeah, but by itself, as a card, I don't think it's big. Like, because if you give this a Great Pact, then you know what I mean? You're just locking the game. You're keeping it stasis.
I think because this card is free and generates... I think a very different kind of advantage with no conditions. Like Warren Soul Trader, to your point, makes a treasure, right?
Yeah.
So like that means automatically it is not a mana ability.
Yeah.
It is something that uses the stack, which gives you some interaction windows. This gives you none. The only time this does is when it causes a trigger, but you can still just activate these in condition to it. Like,
it's not Runic Armor.
I know it is such a personal opinion of mine that I just don't want to see these cards ever.
No, neither do I.
But
for the sake of the video of it being a game changer, or that
it's very hard to separate out how most people play this card with the ability. It's like people are buying a McLaren just to drive it 45 miles on the road. You know, it's like it does have the ability to go like crazy, but I'm really split on it because it's like what happens when like people start like getting lax on it, and then like the actual implication of the rule becomes an issue.
Yeah,
I think it's most egregious with Karklan Ironworks.
Yes,
but you know there are use cases where this gets really, really, really wacky.
I think for the sake of argument, and to move on to the next card, we put this as questionable as a game changer, and we meet in the middle.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, I know I am the outlier in terms of just sheer hatred of these cards.
Oh, so do I.
Like, and I use Karklan Ironworks.
Yeah, I hate every card like this because it's just not my style. Like, whenever I see it, I dread it, and I'm like, well, that has to get shot right the hell now. You know, but it's just, as I say, for the sake of it being, should it be game changer? Should it be banned? That's also why your reaction, salt card.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not salty when this hits the board. I just kind of roll my eyes. And it's kind of like just be more creative, man. Like, just be more creative. Come up with different ways to generate your infinites. These things just make everything too easy.
But also, if you're running, like, say, all of them in a deck, is it really a bracket 3?
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's a justification for why it should question it being a game changer, right? Like,
true.
If all three of them were, then yeah.
To me, if Food Chain was a game changer at one point, this card is more egregious than Food Chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Food Chain Slice of Pie, where it becomes really egregious, is all. I know I was the proponent for Food Chain Game Changer, but the Slice of Pie, where these cards are like really good,
yeah.
Anyway.
Yawgmoth Bargain?
Yeah. No, Yawgmoth's will.
This is just lets you play cards out of people's graveyards, right?
Your graveyard specifically, and then if anything would go to the graveyard to the end of the turn, it's exiled. This was Underworld Breach before Underworld Breach.
The problem with Underworld Breach was its ability to shift the color pie.
Does it last until... Does it just stay on the board?
So, yeah, you just... no, it's a sorcery. So it's actually, once it's cast, it's uninteractable.
So it's the same as an Underworld Breach. Right?
No, because you can blow up an Underworld Breach.
Yeah, but it only lasts till for a turn.
So Yawgmoth is generally only ever used in Storm decks, right? And it's because you don't have to exile other cards to play it. But if anything does go to your graveyard, it is exiled again. So if the things you play die, you're not getting them back.
You're not able to do the fucking brain freeze loop.
Correct. You can't do that, but you can just... You can storm off in very similar ways. There's a reason that a lot of decks still play this card. To me, I think if you're going to put Breach on there, this card has to at least be considered.
I agree.
Yeah.
Potentially being one. I don't know if it makes the cut anymore, but I think it doesn't make the cut anymore because Underworld Breach exists.
Yeah.
Not because it's not as powerful or close
it's also
as
just
powerful.
The black version of it, so...
In my mind, when I have played this card, because I have had it in a few of my black decks, when I have played this card, I have always felt kind of bad having to pay the 3 mana up front, because it's like, you have to remember, if you're making infinite mana, you are somehow not playing bracket 3, because you're making infinite mana through probably a 2-card combo. If you're making infinite mana some crazy way with like
3.
Yeah, Yarick, where you're like doing the Venser Peregrine with Yarick on the field, then it's like, and like a bounce land, like, okay, you made infinite colored mana.
Or like a recent example, I mean, obviously Metalworker can do it with just staff itself, but like I had to use Agatha's Soul Cauldron to make something into effectively a Metalworker to be able to do it, right? So
like let's just say in most cases when you are actually just playing this card flat out, it kind of feels bad to play the 3 mana, but you get to cast multiple spells from exile. It's a good later in the game card. And if you're playing this with infinite mana, your loops aren't technically infinite, because if you're like moving, usually when you're making the infinite mana, you're moving creatures around in some way, and you're either going to run out of cards in the graveyard, or the cards you are putting into the graveyard, you are losing the ability to cast again.
Yeah.
I think it should be considered.
I think it should be considered. Like I said, this is basically doing what Underworld Breach wants to do in a different way, where you only use every card once again. You know, but it can be anything.
Yeah, because Underworld Breach is one cheaper, and you have to exile stuff.
Yeah, the thing is, Underworld Breach is a little bit more narrow because you have to keep putting cards in your graveyard, whereas this one you don't.
Yeah, but Underworld Breach, when you cast something, it goes back.
But I feel like
you
both play at the same time in a game.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so that's what I'm saying. They're basically the same.
Their level of impact when this card is played is very, very similar.
You're not playing this card.
This is a card that I would be okay with Wizards taking a look at, and the eggheads there will know more.
Yeah.
Force of Will or
That's Force of Negation.
Force of Negation. Is this all the free or like pitch a blue card counterspells?
We're gonna talk about, because I think the other free card that's on here is Solitude, which is emblematic of the Evoke Elementals, which I think we can all just talk about together of potential free spells. Because Deadly Rollick's there too, right? So I think this is just free spells.
I think they're cool.
Okay, so I think we should talk about counters specifically differently, though, because I think stack interaction, for the same reason you wanted to put the altars on here and Crowclan Ironworks for evading the stack, the fact that this one specifically counters works on the stack, or works how it's the only one that like targets stuff on the stack, changes things. Like if you were to full send a cast of something and they had no mana, and you knew I said it earlier, and that you knew they had free counterspells, you would think twice about sending that or full sending that cast. Whereas if someone's like, hey, there's Deadly Rollick in the deck, which questionably should be a game changer, but we'll get ahead to that.
Well, I put that on. It's less powerful than Deflecting Swat.
It's less powerful than Deflecting Swat, but this literally changes the way that you play a game.
Well,
it's free counterspells.
Then Subtlety follows under the same argument.
What's Subtlety do again?
Subtlety is the 4 mana Evoke Elemental that says when it enters, you put target creature or planeswalker spell on top or bottom of its owner's deck.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if we say Force of Negation warrants that conversation, so does Subtlety, because again, it is interacting with something on the stack. But if Force of Negation specifically says non-creature spell, which is why it's not in the same thing. But to me, and this is the weird part, it's weird that Fierce Guardianship is on there when you have to control your commander and does the same thing, and this one isn't. Which is just more of an argument that Fierce Guardianship shouldn't be there.
I think this should be a game changer over Fierce Guardianship, because you can play around windows of Fierce Guardianship.
Yeah.
I still think you should tell people you have Fierce Guardianship.
I think it should just be common courtesy that if you're playing bracket 3, maybe you just reveal what your 3 game changes are.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great habit.
I do that at LGS, not with you.
Yeah.
I do that.
Seen all my decks.
Yeah. I do that. I like to say, or like, even if it's not a game changer, like your egregious cards. Like when we sat down to play the Nekuzar game, which might be, I don't know if it's out. I was like, hey, I have fucking Time Spiral in this deck, by the way.
Yeah, same when I did Clive. I was like, hey, I got Underworld Breach. And all you guys were like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, Underworld Breach is a game changer. Time Spiral
is not.
True.
So it's like, I was just giving you guys
saying, hey, I have X.
The Chain of Memphis.
Jesus Christ.
I think that it's Mephistopheles. It's on here. We'll talk about it.
I did not remember that I had that until I drew it. That's the only reason I didn't bring it up. But I think this should be a game changer, and I'm down to bring Fierce Guardianship to questionable as a game changer.
Well, we did that in the last video. Because Fierce Guardianship is a game changer right now. I think
this goes above Food Chain.
I think this is Salt Mines. When we talked about
2 cards to stop one thing.
When we talked about like Force of Will and we talked about Fierce Guardianship, we said all these cards are fine. Like I think particularly the ones that are more like Force of Will, maybe I'll give you because it is universal. This only counters non-creatures.
Did we say that? Can we run the tape back?
Yeah.
At the end of the edit?
Yeah, we were talking about it like I personally rerunning my opinion, I don't think they should be game changers.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think Force of Will never makes the cut for me anymore. Fierce Guardianship does.
Fierce Guardianship does.
But Force of Will doesn't.
Yeah, it's free and it's 1 card, while this is 2 cards.
Yeah. I gotta neg myself for this.
I'm down to give 2 cards to save my board sometimes.
Sure, yeah, but like...
But that's the payoff.
But to me, I think the thing that I'm getting hung up on is if... I think you should say you have free counterspells in your deck if you are playing free counterspells.
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but like...
And I think the fact that knowing they have free counterspells changes the way I play the game.
Do you feel the same way about Solitude?
Not really.
Because like
wild.
That's because it's not quite, because you still get the creature to enter, but Solitude is so close to this.
It's so close, but the difference is that this is able to touch things on the stack before they even touch the board. In Solitude only touches creatures, right?
Yeah, but this only touches non-creatures.
Yeah, but there's non-creatures is a lot bigger of the slice of Magic cards.
But it's also
non-commander.
It depends on it. Depends.
Well, that's the thing. If you don't, Force Will
but again,
stops a commander. This
is the only way you can deal with instants and sorceries, which is a huge chunk of it, because that's the only way you can stop them is countering them. Right?
Yeah.
So this has to be on the same level in the way that Solitude deals with creatures, in the same way that this deals with instants and sorceries.
Okay, for this specific card, that targets non-creatures, but like shit like Pact and Negation and stuff like that.
Oh, Pact is
you will lose if you
Pact is different.
Pact
costs 5 mana on your next turn.
Yeah. But still, that 5 mana is fine for me if it means I get to keep my board in my advantage. It does. I'm not paying that shit before I have 5 mana.
There is a very specific note with Force of Negation. You can't play it for free on your own turn.
Okay. I'm willing to put this down into Salt Mines. I do stand 10 toes down though on if you are playing free counterspells. No, I just moved it down. I think it's probably below. I still stay. I'm just going to reiterate what I said when you move on to the next time.
Yeah.
If you are playing free counterspells, I feel like you should tell the table, and the fact that you need to tell the table means that it will change the way you play the game, and that is quite literally the name of Game Changers. So the free counterspells that target more things and have less stipulations than this, I feel like should be Game Changers. But this, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting 2v1'd right now. I'm willing to let it sit here.
I think the only thing that would then apply to that thing where it's universal is Force of Will. I think it's the only free counterspell that does touch anything. But it's like the line between Force of Will and these other ones is just so close. You know, I think we're just in this weird world. I think we're in a weird world in Magic where we just have to accept that free spells are going to be common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and truthfully, that just speaks more to the design errors of Magic at this point.
And also think about how many cards make shit free.
Same Flare of Denial I was thinking too.
Yeah, any of the flares. Hitagetsu Kairi.
Yeah. Hitagetsu Kairi, I have to jump through like 18 hoops. I have to jump through like 3 hoops in order for it to get egregious.
And I hear you, but I just think that there are also plenty of cards that at this point make things free that it could be set in the same realm. Yeah. Like, think about it like this. You play Ishkron Scepter and Counterspell, and you have a free Counterspell.
No, it costs 2 every turn.
It costs 2.
And you can only do it on 1 turn cycle.
But still. Well, that's if you don't set it up right.
Well, you can't have Dramatic Reversal and Counterspell under it.
No, I know, but there's other ways.
Anyway, let's move on, since we're still talking about free spells. Okay. This is kind of where the divide between countering on the stack versus removing something once it's on board. A lot of the time, I'm just going to say this as like kind of like the backdrop or the framework for why I was making that argument is I feel like a lot, I would say 75 to 85% of decks are playing a on-board combat or creature focused or like enchantment or some shit like that. Some type of permanent on-board strategy. Mm-hmm. And the ability to go above that and prevent things from even getting on board, it makes it significantly stronger than being like, okay, I'm going to destroy it as soon as it comes in.
Yeah, because a lot of the times cards enter and do their thing the instant they do that.
Yeah.
I'll say my only argument is that we're giving such preferential treatment to instants and sorceries then.
Yeah.
Which is like, and that's the unfortunate, unavoidable
And that's
fact.
the thing, like Solitude has a downside. They gain life.
Yeah.
Okay, Swords to Plowshares is a downside, and we're not, like, it's just the best white
No, I
removal
get it,
spell,
but that's
like,
what I'm saying, but like in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to stop something.
Mhm.
Like swords, yes, like it enters, does a thing, but it's like, hey, like my that thing's gotta go. All right, cool, but I'm gaining 7 life.
Yeah, it's well, and Deadly Rollick is a weird one too because
It's exile.
Yeah, like and I'm not gonna put Flawless Maneuver and Obscuring Haze in the same categories. They're just so much weaker. As much as I love Flawless Maneuver, I play it a lot.
Obscuring Haze so much,
but like the ones that interact with your opponent are just. Again, it's the fact that free spells probably should not have been made, and they just kept making them.
It would be fine if like those Ikoria, I think it was,
those
free spells
precons
were like the pinnacle of free spells, but now we're getting Flare Cultivation itself is just like, it's so disgusting. Like, and that is like, I think one of the weaker ones.
It's literally better cultivate in almost every single situation.
Literally better cultivate in almost every situation. I am down to put this in Salt Mines. I have maybe
it goes wherever Deflecting Swat is, and in fact, it goes way lower.
Yeah.
I because it is not.
Speaking of which,
Solitude, I think, falls in the same boat. Solitude's actually worse than Deadly Rollick in a lot of situations.
Oh yeah,
right?
exiling,
Like,
I think is a strong.
but like by merit, there's also subtlety, and to some degree, like Fury is a sorcery, which is a little different, but Fury is also pretty monstrous in some situations.
I feel like it's stronger in Modern than it is.
Oh yeah, sure. Like it's banned in Modern. It was too good.
Yeah.
And Endurance, I mean, Endurance causes a lot of problems for very different reasons.
Yeah.
Because it can start looping your graveyard back into your deck, so it's impossible to get milled out, while also giving you the opportunity to disrupt people's graveyards. I love Endurance. I played in every single green deck. There is no reason not to, in my opinion, if you have the space, because it is so flexible.
Yeah.
But again, it's free spells are just now a staple of where Magic's at, that I think we just kind of have to start accepting them as a reality.
Yeah,
kind of as a. I wanted to say this during Rule of Law, but I'll bring it up here because it's kind of tangential to this. Is I want them to put more free spell punish, and I'm not talking like you can't. I'm fine with people casting free spells, but I don't know how many people play fucking League of Legends.
Vexing Bobble.
Like, make it so if you cast a free spell, like, guess what? You're getting domed for 5 or some shit.
There
like
is
that.
what's that card? There's a Roiling Vortex. Does
I
exactly
know.
that.
I want them to put more of them.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to print more of those cards. Like, there should be more cards that punish for being egregious like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Toka and Razar.
Yeah, that's like they
Vexing
need to print.
Bobble's a good one too.
Yeah,
just as
but that stops.
Yeah, that stops it completely.
You can't play it.
It's the difference between a can't and you can, but I want to kick you in the nuts. And I'm fine. I like the you can, but I want to kick you in the nuts.
That's really the whole reason I built Toka.
If you got somebody who's trying to play Draco Genesis or Omniscience, good cards to tech. Just saying.
This is Time Spiral, right?
Yeah.
And
we're talking very specifically about Time Spiral. Like, we're not talking about other things.
It's shuffle everything into your library, draw 7, untap 6 lands.
Yeah, everybody shuffles their graveyard in hands and draw 7. You untap 6 lands.
Oh, so it's Sway of Stars with more one favored.
Well, you don't know because you don't shuffle in the board.
And you don't.
It is Time Twister.
Oh, okay.
But it's free.
Gotcha.
Basically,
it is free if it resolves.
All right. What do you think?
So I just wanted to talk about this because it's weird that part of the reason Time Twister isn't talked about much is because nobody has them.
Mm-hmm.
This, in my opinion, in Commander specifically is stronger than Time Twister.
Yeah.
Which I think warrants a conversation. I think this card, it's not quite a game changer, but it is definitely a very scary card.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this is the last card I played in my hand, I basically just drew 7 cards.
Yes.
And my turns rewound. Like, this card is, and particularly if you have like a High Tide, this card's nuts.
Yeah, like listen, Rewind used to be one of my favorite cards ever. And
they need to take, I mean, I don't think they need to, but all of the cards that say untap X amount of mana, where X is the amount of mana used to cast that spell, or lands specifically.
Yeah.
All of those cards, I'm smiling at the camera right now. You're a dirty cheater. This is for me in the edit.
They were free spells before free spells discounting the forces.
Sure.
That's
the original forces.
Because that's like all that Yidris is. It's like, okay, I cast something and guess what? I like
Well, you have a whole deck built around cheating that. That's
that's the whole point of Magic, is to pay as little taxes and do as much damage as possible.
true. But it's funny that you're laughing at yourself.
I'm laughing at myself.
Yeah.
It's healthy. You should be able to.
I think this card is like questionably game changer because
I agree.
I think it is so close to doing just absolutely dumb things.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But would you put Treachery and Peregrine Drake and Palancron?
I would not put the creatures that untap themselves in.
Palancron?
I wouldn't. But I would do Treachery. Palancron is just an enabler for itself. It doesn't generate card advantage by itself or interact with the board by itself, which I think to me is the difference between Time Spiral and Treachery in it.
True.
Okay.
I can see that.
Right? I think that's the line breaker for me.
Okay.
Because I think Treachery and Time Spiral even higher than that. I think Time Spiral is the most powerful of all those effects.
Snap
is whatever, man. You can have your 2-mana bounce spell that you untap 2 lands, right? Like, same thing with Frantic Search. Like, nobody's sitting here complaining about a Snap or a Frantic Search.
I run Snap.
People will complain about
because
time.
you abuse them, so you're like, oh man, like I know the line that I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But the card as it by itself
That's fine.
is fine.
It just enables so
And that's
much.
the whole point I'm getting at. It's like you have to think about these cards by themselves. You can't be like, oh, this card's busted because this exists.
Yeah, no. Time Spiral is the one that truly by itself in a vacuum is absurd.
I get what you guys are saying. Yeah. What's this next one?
Winter Orb.
Winter Orb, and by extension, Static Orb.
All right, Sheoldred.
Listen.
I don't disagree, but yeah.
I have a different opinion. I think it's salty because there are so many goddamn removal spells in Magic, and if you don't run enough removal, then yeah, you're gonna get fucked.
But I think the problem is that removal is not completely universal, right? Like, you're probably playing, what, like 5 ways to remove creatures?
But between
2 board
3
wipes.
players.
How many times in League of Legends have you played against a champion that's complete dog shit and everyone's like, oh, it just dies to CC? It's like, yeah, motherfucker, if I could hit the CC, the Samira would die. But guess what? She's moving all over the fucking screen.
Yeah, I never like dies to removal as a good argument.
Yeah.
Because
I definitely don't. Yeah.
that's true for everything.
Yeah.
I think these cards are either.
But that's what this card is. Like, there are certain cards in Magic that I believe that you play as bait cards. Because you're like, hey, I want to cast my 7 cost whatever. I'm going to play Winter Orb for 2 first.
I don't think this is not a bait card.
This is not a bait card.
This is a card that I am going to use to functionally get close to winning the game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But if you have this card, are you going to hold on to it for 6 turns?
No, and if I'm making the deck building decision to put this card in my deck, I am putting in ways to get it back or protect it as well.
I get that. But
Or,
I think,
more importantly, to break the parity. Because there is something very weird about Winter Orb and Static Orb, and it's that if they are tapped, they don't work.
yeah.
Right? So one of the weirdest tricks you can do, and this is me talking about the egregiousness of Derevi once more. If you have a way to sack Derevi, and you have a Winter Orb out, during your last opponent's end step, you sack her, then put her back into play at instant speed and tap it. So you untap every single turn. Right? And there are weird things like you can use opposition with these to tap it down on your turn. Like, the decks that are going to play this are going to abuse the shit out of it to break its parity completely. Or specifically in the case of Winter Orb, not so much Static Orb because it's just 2 permanents. Winter Orb in, like, Elves decks goes hard.
True, yeah.
Right? Because you don't care about your lands after a certain point.
And
you're just using it all for elves.
Things anyways.
Yeah. So, like, to me, I think it's more than just salty. I think you can play this in bracket 3, and it falls under the Armageddon problem, which I know Mass Land Denial, and these are actually close to Mass Land Denial too.
They
so
are
it
Mass
is,
Land
yeah. Maybe because of the Mass Land Denial argument, it has to go into why are you playing it in bracket 3.
That's fine.
But it is like it's the Armageddon argument where, like, a chudster playing this card just to play it is not the right way to do this. You need to play this if you can play this if you're intending it to use it for massive advantage, right? Not just like, I want to slow the game down. I had somebody like, I just want to slow the game down, and it caused him to lose the game.
I remember Avion played this in one of our games. I forget which one. Let us know in the comments. And I was playing a 4-color deck, and everyone else was like, I don't care. Because I can untap at least a few lands. Like, it doesn't matter to me. And so I just didn't get to play, and the other 3 people played Magic while I just untap, upkeep, draw it. I untapped like my 1 or 2 lands and then passed because I couldn't do anything. And like, I was just completely locked out of the game. Like, so what I'm trying to get at is like, you can't be like, oh, somebody at the table will have a removal spell because one motherfucker cast it. If you don't have it, that's another person. So it's like you're relying on the other 2 people, and it's like,
and what if they don't? What if they don't? That's the value of it.
I don't think this deserves to be on a bracket 3 table just off the mass land denial.
Yeah. I do agree with that point very specifically.
All right, well, Sheoldred.
Sheoldred the Apocalypse.
This is a personal favorite. This is like my personal favorite black card.
I love this card so much. But this card, I think, comes up in the argument of being very close to Bowmasters. Not quite as, like, flexible, but in the amount of damage it can do.
And healing.
To me, it's a salt card. But I know a lot of people talk about this card being a game changer, which I think...
What does it change about the game? You literally have to draw the card. Like, you don't get to choose to draw your first card each turn.
I think it's annoying more than anything. That's what I'm saying. Salt mine.
The only thing it changes is you go untap, upkeep, draw, and you go tap, tap. All right, let's play.
This is more a voice of the people thing is why it's here. But
next.
Oh, yeah.
This is salt mines. This is under... For me, it's down here.
Yeah, it's towards the bottom. I would put it above Derevi.
What's the next one?
Or no, I would put it below Derevi, because Derevi is way more annoying than this card. This is Nether Void, and I think a lot of people don't know this card.
Yeah, go ahead and read it off.
This is a 4-mana black enchantment, black and 3. And it says, all spell, or counter any spell that is cast unless its controller pays an additional 3.
Annoying, but it's fine.
Like,
this is a salt mine card. It's no.
I mean, here's the thing:
lower.
would you rather have some? Would you? It's the same realm of like, oh, your things cost 3 more, but the fact that it's countered makes it different.
I want to make a deck where I sandwich with Trinisphere in this card.
Does it have flash?
No.
Then it's fine.
I'm putting it right next to Trinisphere because I now want to make a deck where I'm like, you have to pay a minimum of 3 and then also 3 on top.
So you have to pay a minimum of 6 for everything.
Bell. You want to play Bell.
That sounds fun.
I think the only reason this card actually doesn't get talked about more is because it is very old and not a lot of people have them.
Yeah.
You know.
What is it? This
Chains of Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles. Fist me softly, please.
No.
Okay.
So to me, I don't necessarily want to see it there because again, this is one of those.
Why is it in bracket 3?
And I wouldn't even go that far. I would just say it's a game changer.
Okay.
It does change how the game is played.
Are you reading what the card does?
No, I'm bringing this up to
the
show
flow chart. This card is way simpler than people give it credit for. It's
same with Wheel of Misfortune.
Yes. After your first card per turn, if you were to draw a card, you must first discard a card. If you cannot discard a card when you would draw, you mill a card instead.
Except it's not explicitly mill. It's just put a card from the top of your library.
That's been errated to mill.
Oh, it's been errated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you would put a card from the top of your deck into your graveyard is milling, since they made it a keyword.
Okay.
It's not that complex, guys.
I think if this was just in the normal pack cycles, this card would not be talked about. It's the fact that it's a $1,500 card because it got printed.
So why are you playing in bracket 3?
Well, so I actually think this card would be closer to making the Game Changers list if it was readily available, because it would be more prevalent, more in the zeitgeist of Commander culture of how obnoxious this card can be.
I think this would be questionable as a game changer. I would put it probably at the bottom.
I would actually move it closer to the top because I think this coming down, it is cheap in terms of its mana cost, not its actual cost.
Augur.
And it warps how a game is played.
Yes, it does.
It really does.
Like,
particularly in conjunction with wheels, this is arguably the worst.
Yes.
You know?
So,
granted, it's symmetrical, but in any deck that I have played this in, like I played this in what was it? Anya Falconwrath, where I didn't care about discarding my cards. And I would say even this, cards like Marchesa, I could play this in my Marchesa deck.
Yeah.
Because I have ways to gain advantage without drawing cards.
You were saying?
Discard sucks.
Yeah.
Discard is the only thing in Magic that doesn't let you play the game.
Discard's fine. Everyone's just salty about discard.
I'm more in that camp.
I think Mill's fine. I think
people complain about Mill.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Mill's
Get
fine.
over yourself.
Mill's fine, and if Mill
Get over
bothers
yourself.
you, build your deck better.
Build recursion pieces. Play regrowths.
But discard, I think, is one of the only things in Magic that it's like, hey, you start your turn, you had no hand, you draw a card, it's a land pass. You're not playing Magic.
Right, which is why I think this specifically should be a game changer. But discard as a strategy in general.
No, I know,
whatever.
but this is like one of the biggest.
Yeah, this card does some fuck shit. Don't get me wrong. I think it should be a game changer.
I think.
I know some of the Croxa deck, and if they had this in there,
oh my god,
I'm changing it every time. I'm changing what I'm playing every time.
Here's a question, because it's kind of a similar effect. How do you feel about Miss Miracorp? It doesn't punish on the draw, but it punishes on the untap.
But Mill's fine.
Mill's fine. Mill is not denying your ability to get cards. But someone plays a Mesmericorp against me, half the time I'm celebrating, right?
I do run Mesmericorp in my graveyard decks.
Milling doesn't matter.
Yeah, Mill's fine.
Like things like
You
Altar of
could
the
build around
Brood
that.
don't matter.
I guess it is the difference between milling it from the top of your deck. Who knows? If
Who
you're
cares,
draw
right?
that
Like
card.
you are
versus
just
like
it's a
milling it from your hand.
But that's different.
That's different.
That's
It's not.
different, 'cause
That
that's your
denies
game
your
plan.
ability to play
Then
cards.
you're going to a gunfight with your fist.
But it's you're still going card neutral on the card.
But that's the thing. But if you have one to get to that point, usually you're having to be unwillingly throw them away, and then you're at a point where you're purely at the mercy of what you draw.
No, because you still get the first draw that you get per turn, and then if you were to have
It's a land.
Esper Sentinel trigger or something like that, you would have to first discard a card to draw the next card. And if you can't, then you still get to draw a card, but you just mill a card first.
Right.
So you're still getting the card. You're still going net even on cards.
Yeah, but you don't have
well, not when you play cards. And I think that's the difference.
point. Is you don't have
Right?
the ability
As soon as you play a card, you have negated that card for turn. And then as the game goes on, you just accumulate less and less. So unless I am drawing and playing the card I'm playing for turn and still have a hand and I'm not getting any other advantage, right? This card does whittle away. Like if you play this
especially
card,
with this being so cheap.
yeah. If you play this card and you wheel,
I will admit it is way too cheap.
yeah, it gets extremely disruptive. You know?
Because think about it. Most of the time, if you're on curve for mana, and let's say you have a couple rocks and your things, you're gradually having less cards in hand each turn, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it trims the ability to accrue card advantage from drawing cards, and most people do not play other ways to accrue card advantage.
I'll put it above Alms Collector.
Sure.
That's what I'm
fine.
thinking, because I do think you should punish card draw.
Yeah, but I think this is the wrong way. I think things like Sheoldred and Bowmasters are the right way.
If they wanted to come,
Needlehead, fantastic card.
What
if
is?
they wanted to come,
Razorhead Needlekin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great fucking card.
if they wanted to come back and revisit this type of effect, and they made it like, oh, every time you draw a card past the first one in your turn, you mill a card. I'm completely fine with that.
So I have long asked, because there was a whole cycle of cards called the Maguses from the original Time Spiral. And
Yeah.
they've done a couple since then. Like we've had Magus of the Wheel and stuff, Magus of the Bazaar, that have meant to be these older cards. I have been asking, because we even have Magus of the Balance, right? Like you can technically play Balance, you just have to play that creature and you have to activate this effect. I have long asked for a Magus of Chains, and it has this effect on a creature. I have been asking for this for a long time. Because it makes it a lot more vulnerable. It would probably be like a 3-mana 2/2 I think would be a very fair place to put it.
Gavin, invite us over.
You know, just because like I think the rarity of this card also makes people not encounter it so much, which means when they do for like the first time, it is kind of a WTF moment for a lot of people when they don't know this. Whereas like if there were things that made people more exposed to these kinds of things, they could at least keep it in mind that this is something they can encounter, which I think a lot of people don't think about chains.
Yeah.
You know, because it is so rare.
It's so rare.
Yeah.
I feel like we made similar points on a few of these cards. I feel like we can just go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole section of them that are mass land denial cards that are like, we get it. You don't like it. They're not going to show up in bracket 3. Game changers don't matter at bracket 4.
This is also mass land denial.
Yeah, that's Apocalypse. Cataclysm might warrant a different discussion. And World Purge might warrant a different discussion.
World Purge is fine.
World Purge is worse Sway of the Stars.
Yeah, that's what I'm
right.
saying. It's fine.
So I think that's why it's different. I think we just put it right below Sway of the Stars.
The biggest problem with land destruction, I think you should be able to punish lands. I do not think it should be, I'm gonna dink you for 1. I don't think it should be. I can dink you for 1 land in a 4-player game, or I destroy everybody's lands completely. The one card that you played in the Edge of Eternity's precon, it's like everyone goes down to 6. That's awesome. That's a cool card. That's a cool card.
Yeah, that's a cool card.
I think that's fine, but technically, according to Wizards' own rules, if you want to rules lawyer it, that is mass land destruction.
It's bracket 2.
Yeah. But also it's bracket 2. So I think that type of stuff is fine.
I think that's fair at least. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like cards like Turf War, more people need to play Turf War.
I actually do want to talk about one specific thing out of this. Okay. And it's the Blood Moon effects. So Blood Moon, Magus the Moon, Harbinger of the Seas, and Back to Basics.
And Zao.
I actually think are just salty cards.
I
think these are cards that should actually be allowed.
I agree.
I'm saying top of salt mines.
It is top of salt mines. Don't get me wrong. But hey,
I actually think maybe
play basics.
If it was a game changer, it would not see as much play.
I think a big reason why it might be a game changer or game changer-esque is it's primarily just in red.
Well, it's not anymore. It's red and blue. We have 4 of this kind of effect that are like very similar in mind, right? Because we have Harbinger of the Seas, which is the merfolk that makes everything an island, right? And all non-basics islands, same exact thing. And there's Back to Basics.
That's true,
right?
And then there's ways around it. Like so if someone has a Blood Moon, you play Yavi Maya.
No, the Yavi Maya loses that ability.
Oh, because it's a non-basic.
Correct. Same thing with Urborg. They stop functioning.
So while we're in this, why are you playing bracket 3 type conversation? I feel like Displacer Kitten has to get talked about because most of the time this card gets talked about because its ability to go infinite with everything.
I disagree.
Well, yeah, you played it in your Vannifar deck,
right? And it's just good value, right?
It was very good value.
This card,
but it also made all your shit untouchable.
As long as I had something to cast, and I think it was the problem where this card arose was it in conjunction with Seedborn Muse.
Yes.
Right? Because it gave me the mana to be able to protect all my stuff at instant speed. That is an exceptional condition.
And that's 3 cards.
That's true.
Guaranteed.
Right? Like, I think, yes, there are people who do really dumb things with Displacer Kitten. I actually think most people who use Displacer Kitten are using it just as bonus flicker effects.
Yeah.
I think people get salty about this card. I don't think this card justifies a game changer. It is a 4-mana 2/2 that requires you to play other things to do anything.
I'm putting it...
It's just a little guy.
Yeah,
I'll put it in between these two.
Also, it is always a 3-mana infinite at minimum, which I still think is okay.
3-card?
Candelabra. Candelabra also.
I don't like people talk about this card being game changer. It's not even close. It's not even close.
It can be gross. You can do gross things with it, but you're paying into it, right?
Well, you have to tap it.
Yeah, that's my point.
Like,
you tap
it,
it,
you
pay
know.
into it.
Yeah, you do. I'm pretty sure you do now.
No, you don't.
Maybe I'm thinking of Magus the Candelabra.
Because this goes infinite with an island and high tide. Yeah, it doesn't.
No. You have to look at the Oracle text. Artifact cards from back in the day that had activated abilities did not specify they tapped because that was inherent to the rules. Candelabra Thanos, as it reads on the Oracle text and things like Vintage Cube now, because they have the updated Magic Line ones, you have to pay X and tap it to untap X lands.
Okay.
It is not infinite with those cards.
Okay. That changes my whole stance. Because I was like, okay, you play one bounce land on turn 3, and then if this comes down at any other point, then you're fucking Warren Buffett.
Always check the Oracle text.
Me getting really mad at the dude at the LGS and pulling up Scryfall to check the Oracle text.
I've done it. I've checked people on it. I'll be that guy.
Okay, if it taps...
Should have seen him with Robostars.
If it taps... this is functionally a mana doubler. Which is Salt Mine.
Well, not even. You have to pay the amount of mana you're tapping. So, like, it's great with things like Gaia's Cradle Serra Sanctum because you can double up on the amount you're getting out of it. And there are combos with this card. Don't get me wrong. Like things that reduce the activated ability of it and turning it into a land.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Put it there.
Or like, what is it? If you can turn like Scrib Ranger or something that like can tap to untap another thing. If you turn it into a land, does really funny things.
I can't think about it right now. I know what you're talking about.
Ashaya does really funny things.
Yeah.
But Ashaya does really funny things with Magus of the Candelabra specifically, not this. You'd have to turn it into a creature. But people who get salty about this card, you're just wrong. Or you didn't understand what it does.
Or you didn't read the Oracle text.
Yeah, and to be fair, most people probably don't. They see this card and they go, what the hell? But, whenever something does seem that egregious, just double check.
Let's go back in order then. Dauthi.
Yeah, there's actually 3 cards that are there together very specifically, and it's Dauthi Voidwalker, Screaming Nemesis, and Gitaxias.
How are those together?
These are emblematic of cards that completely shut out a strategy.
So
Devin.
But Dauthi...
Nah, dude, I am the king of playing Gitaxias.
So Dauthi on his own does something. Screaming Nemesis by himself does nothing.
What do you mean? Of course he does.
He has to take damage and live.
Yeah, guess what? We're playing a multi... He doesn't have to live.
Yeah, he does.
No, the trigger just goes on the stack.
It's fine.
So the problem with Screaming Nemesis, and I think Dauthi's okay, Rest in Peace is okay. It's okay to attack these strategies, and I think it's okay to attack life gain in ways that say they can't gain life on a card that sticks around. The reason I specifically don't like the design of Screaming Nemesis, and to some extent Stigma Lasher, although Stigma Lasher has to connect with that player specifically, so there's more to play around. If 2 players are if there's 4 players in a pod, 1 player is playing a life gain deck, the person who has a Screaming Nemesis can be like, hey, block my Screaming Nemesis to another player.
Yeah.
And then the life gain player no longer gets to play the game.
Yeah, that's also
there is no amount of agency that the life gain player even gets in this interaction. And removal. That's not how things work. Dies to removal is not an argument for why a card should not exist.
I'm not saying why it shouldn't exist. I'm just saying that there are ways to deal with it. And the same way...
But there are and there aren't, right? Because once this happens, it will never go away, right? Cards like...
You just have to blink yourself.
But
right.
in the same thing, in the same realm, then why are cards like Seagate fine when you can just have infinite hand size?
Because it doesn't negatively impact another player. It is a boon, not a you stop functioning. That is a huge
but this is the thing. If you're playing... I think it's a matchup thing. If you're playing, if I'm playing Dinos and I get hit by this, yeah, I'm going to lose some life in the game, but that's not the strategy. Right. If you know someone's playing Aerith, and you're like, oh, I'm playing this because of Screaming Nemesis, then you're an asshole.
Yeah, you're just an asshole.
But that's the thing. I think the card exists for a reason. I just don't think...
I think they went a little overboard on it. If it was like...
Well, it's like, I'm okay with Stigma Lasher, which does something similar. It says, when it hits somebody, that player can't gain life for the rest of the game. But it has to hit that player. That player still has agency to block it. But this does not. This can work with 2 other players who just want to fuck somebody.
Yeah.
And that's what's not okay.
Let me put it that way. How do you feel about passive effects on the board that are like, I don't have to do anything. I can play Sunspire Links. You're not able to gain life.
Fine. because you can get rid of it. The fact that this creates a permanent condition for the rest of the game that can no longer be interacted with is the reason why I think this card is a problem. And this again just goes to bad design. I'm not saying to make this a game changer or to ban it, because it really only does target one specific thing. But I think this is a why are you playing it in bracket 3 card. Because it is going to shut out particular decks completely.
I want to agree with you just because I don't like the way it's designed. I don't think it should be permanent.
I don't think it should be a game changer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those things. It's like, if you're playing this card, you're kind of being a dick because this is just a badly designed card.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I run this in one deck. I'm trying to remember what it is. I think it's Ian.
It's my fuck Devin deck.
That's not Ian. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And the reason why Dauthi...
Toka. I run Toka Razar.
Yeah.
The whole point is...
Correct.
I'm going to shoot myself. I'm going to shoot everyone. It's just a chaos.
On the flip side though, the combat damage that is not commander damage is completely shut out once life gain rolls even a little bit. There's been a few games when I played Nekuzar against your life gain deck where it's I just can't win.
Well, I think that is more answering the board, right? Because anytime a life gain deck is generating a ridiculous amount of life, it is because their board state is crazy, right? I think the only exception being decks that use Aetherflux Reservoir and stuff like that, or things that play Beacon of Immortality.
Yeah.
Those kind of one-shot effects. Although if you're playing an Aetherflux Reservoir, you're probably winning the game. And I think that's a little bit more matchup, but you still have agency. Because if you wipe my board and keep me under control from that point, you can kill me, right? Yeah. Or if you had drawn Phyrexian in that Nekuzar game, I will just die.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's different.
Yeah, that's creating win conditions. And I think... But I know people talked about Dauthi because it is annoying, and so is Rest in Peace.
We're on to Dauthi now.
Leyline of the Void, all these types of effects that affect Graveyard, and things that do shut out particular strategies. I have Gitaxias in there for the same reason of people can't play non-creature spells that cost 4 or more, right? That shuts out a lot of things.
I think this is...
You want to be the Naturia.
Yeah, I think these effects belong in Salt Mines.
Salt Mines, I would say Worldfire-ish.
Yeah, I think because they do kind of lock people out until they get an answer. I remember the game where someone played a Rolling Vortex and it was just activating every turn in my Aerith deck. That's frustrating for me, but I know it's I just got to find the answer. And if I don't find the answer, that's fine. Whereas Screaming Nemesis, there's no answer. The thing has haste. And 2 players can just conspire together to ruin everything.
Then they're both assholes. And then you should think about who you're playing with.
What's this white card?
This is Cataclysm. So this was it's similar to the Mass Land Denial thing, but it is...
What does it do?
Let me read it specifically because it's
It's white, so some bullshit.
White simultaneously has the strongest cards, but dog shit.
Is not allowed to play any of them?
Yeah.
So Cataclysm is a 4-mana sorcery. Each player chooses from among the permanents they control an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a land, and sacrifices the rest.
Wait, say that again?
So,
because it hits a land.
Everybody picks an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a land they control, and gets rid of everything else.
I mean, it's not as egregious Worldfire, but also can be very one-sided.
Bump that up to 5 lands, and this card is A-OK. I would play it.
Yeah, so the reason why I find this card interesting and why I think I would almost allow it in certain bracket 3 decks is because this card doesn't touch Planeswalkers. So if someone's playing Super Friends, this card is awesome for them.
Yeah.
They're gonna win the game if they play this and they have 3 walkers out.
Guy who was writing Oracle text back in 2014 or whenever this was written, being Planeswalkers when he goes to bed that night.
Or casting this and then casting Teferi's Protection so all your stuff doesn't exist.
True.
Also just a win condition, right? So I think this card different from Armageddon creates more interesting situations where you can win the game, whereas Armageddon can just be straight BM.
Armageddon pass.
I don't think because it doesn't do obviously to win and take advantage of it, it has to be more than just itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I almost want to say questionable,
Like-
but very bottom.
Well, I'm not saying this should be a game changer. It's automatically goes and why are you playing it in bracket 3?
That's fair.
But I would make an argument that if someone was playing a bracket 3 deck and they told me they were playing Cataclysm and doing this with it, I'd be like,
sit down.
that's cool,
Yeah.
right? You can sit at my table, right? If you're playing Commodore Guff and you Cataclysm me, I'm like, you won the game. You got it.
Yeah.
Like, congrats.
I
No different than getting Craterhoof, honestly.
I think is this next card also a mass land denial?
What is it?
That's World Purge. This
It's fine.
people complain about this. It is actually a fairish way of the stars because it empties your mana pool. It does the same exact thing,
It
but
empties all mana.
yeah. So nobody can float mana, and it doesn't reset people's life totals, which I think Sway of the Stars is the more egregious component of it. So I think World Purge does fall under the mass land denial, but if that's true, so does Sway of the Stars.
Mhm.
So I think this just goes right below Sway of the Stars to me.
I think
I just thought of a good card we should talk about. What's the one that when you cast something, it turns into a bird instead?
Dovescape?
Yeah.
Dovescape's fine.
I know Dusky's fine, but I feel like that would have been a good card to talk about.
I love Dovescape.
So do
I love Dovescape so much.
where's it says questionable.
It's under questionable game changer. I would say it like this goes below that tier. I think most people just don't even a lot of people don't know this card, let alone play it. But it's a very weird card.
Are we out of land destruction now?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, there's one card that I think qualifies, but not really. It's Warp World,
okay.
Is that the next card?
World,
Yeah.
Warp World's very different.
and I would also, because I know I have a friend who complains when I play this card, and it's very similar. Great Aurora falls in this pile
Oh, yeah.
too.
What does Warp World do?
So-
So I do know this because I was going to put it in Ian.
You also were going to put it in Vivictus.
That's true. So basically, what it does is you count the number of permanents you have, shuffle in your deck, reveal that many permanents, and that's
Yeah.
your board now.
Well, reveal that many cards from the top, and any permanents come into play. Right. So if you play a bunch of instant sorceries, you're going to get screwed by this card.
but it doesn't count like other ones where it's like X amount of lands. You get
Well,
5 lands, or you know what I mean? Like, because that's not Scrambleverse. That's what I'm thinking.
Scrambleverse is a different story.
Yeah.
Scrambleverse just exchanges the control of everything and is a nightmare to resolve.
There's another one I'm thinking of. These
Um,
auctions the goat.
Notably, though, Warp World does not put Planeswalkers into play because it was older than that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Um,
I think this is a fine card. This is just a board-wide Chaos Warp, no?
But the problem is
Kinda
it takes
Kind of.
15 minutes to resolve.
Usually, the person who plays Warp World is going to win the game off of it because they built their deck to function with this. But I also think it's fine. I just know this is like one of the top-rated saltiest cards
Yeah, because one
in conjunction with Great Aurora.
It takes forever to resolve, and it's funny because all the person who's running this has to do is run Homeward Path Brand.
This has nothing. That's Scrambleverse. You're thinking of the wrong card. This card doesn't exchange control of anything.
You're right.
Yeah. Scrambleverse is just a card that if someone plays it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get some food. You figure out how this resolves.
Yeah.
I'll come back
Unless
in
it's Thieves
30
Auction.
minutes.
I do run Thieves Auction in Malcolm
That's fine.
because it's just
People are just salty about
Just for the time investment of this card, I'm putting it there.
That's
fair. Next.
Mindslaver.
Okay, wait. Now that we're out of land destruction,
hmm
please just print more cards that cull people down to similar numbers of lands. Like bring everyone down to the whoever has the lowest or something like that. We don't need full-on land wipes. This card takes so much to actually
Yeah.
get going.
This card used to be a menace. This card is so slow. It's I think a total of 9 mana to play it and activate it, and then you're only taking control of one player.
If you're running Toph, it's a different story.
If you have infinite mana and infinite ways to recur this and are able to do it, congrats. That's
fine.
the same as taking extra turns.
Yeah.
Because you're just stopping everyone else from playing the
Seaboard
game.
Mute, Toph. That should be crazy.
Every time I'm like, oh, I want to build a Mindslaver deck. I'm like, oh man, the amount of hoops I have to jump through to make this card good is just it's not really worth it. It is annoying someone else gets to play your turn. But that way they can admire my heat.
Next.
This is actually I didn't realize people hated on this card as much as they did.
It's annoying. That's why it goes top to salt tier.
I need to change the. There we go. Show normal text. This is Gitaxias Progress Tyrant. 7 mana 5/5. Whenever you
Counter the It's what counter the first thing they do, double the first
so
thing
it's whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery. So this doesn't affect creatures or enchantments, and it counters that spell, and it only triggers once each turn. And then whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, you copy it once a turn. I think people are just salty about this.
So do I.
Like, you can still play your creatures, you can still play your enchantments,
Planeswalkers.
you can play planeswalkers.
It is a little higher on the salt.
And
too,
it's 7 mana.
And I think the big thing here, compared to the other dudes, 10. I think the big thing here is that that pisses people off is you're now having to chump a card to freely play what you actually want.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
since-
always annoying.
if you're not playing an instant sorcery or artifact type deck, it's very hard to get those cards to chump the initial counter.
Well, no, because it only counters those.
It only counters.
Yeah, I know.
Only counters those. So,
I
like,
know, but I'm talking.
yeah.
I'm saying if you're playing if I'm playing Henze and I want to cast an instant, the odds of me having another instant in my hand is very low because I'm playing very creature and permanent heavy.
Yeah, which is why it's fine though.
It's fine against me, but it's
Well, it's funny too because you can actually, you can try and bait your opponents into taking that trigger for you off the instant or sorcery because then it doesn't work. It only triggers once period each turn.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Right. So like if I play an egregious creature, right, and someone needs to try and Swords of Postures, or you guys collude, be like, hey, do you have a way to kill this? Like, cool. I'm gonna dump my artifact here so you can swords it on my turn. Right. Like, there are so many kind of ways to navigate around this card that I think it's just people being salty.
It is fun. Yeah, I agreed with salty as well. But this next one,
fastest card ever. Should have been made. Ban it. Not playable. Next.
This card does everything I ever wanted an Is It card to do when I first started playing.
No,
Magic.
don't even put it in bracket 3. Should just not exist. Get it out of here. No debate. Everyone, all I heard from you, everyone else I knew was this card should have never been designed. It is getting banned next. And when it didn't, everyone was mad. Therefore, it should just be banned.
Was there ever a discussion for it to be banned in Commander?
Yeah.
I knew it.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I agree with the current placement. Why are you playing this in bracket 3? I think there is nothing fair about this card. However, I actually would see an argument that it should be a game changer. If you were playing
At
it...
least.
Yeah, Vivi coming down on a board, if left alone, does warp a game.
I wanted big instant and sorcery support. This isn't it.
I'm giving a Vivi in the Secret Commander.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No one should
Figure
make this
it
thing.
Yeah, I think it belongs as a game changer because I don't want to necessarily completely shut out people's ability to play this card in a more fair capacity. It's really when this is...
You're not going to.
I think Storm is fine. I think the problem with this card is that it wins the game with brain freeze loops.
I think it...
Right?
Yeah, but it does everything you would ever want an Is It card to do.
I think the bigger problem with Vivi is you throw any of the... Whenever this does... any of the curiosities on it, every spell you cast now draws you 3 cards.
Yeah, I also think, you know what? I think the biggest design flaw with this card was that it should say whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, not a non-creature spell. I think that is the egregious component. It's
not the fact that there's a 0 activation ability that gives you mana that can be used for anything.
And this was the other conjunction to that fix. You should only be able to use it for instants and sorceries.
They could split this card directly along the blank space between the top text and the bottom text and make 2 very good It's
true. It's true.
Make it a partner pairing.
Yeah. Make it a partner. That's actually a really good idea. Make it Vivi and then Orniter, or whatever you say the last name.
It should have been Vivi and Black Waltz.
That's they never got along.
It would have been funny though.
Yeah. Jodah, I'm saying Jodah, why are you playing some bracket 3? Because this dude is boring.
Well, that's the thing. Jodah, the problem is the people that play Jodah in bracket 3 is because they have bulk and they just want to play other legendaries.
I put Jodah here personally because I
hate Jodah.
I've played this card. When Jodah came out, I was so excited. And then I played him and went, this card is not okay.
Yeah.
This is another card that I said when it was spoiled, I'm like, this should have never been made.
Oh, yeah.
This is a design mistake, not quite on the level of Nadu, but pretty fucking close.
So I have a friend. He has a Secret Lair deck. Every single card in that deck is Secret Lair of some way, shape, form. And the whole reason, and the worst part about it, is it's SpongeBob. So you're losing to SpongeBob while he plays every single Secret Lair card that exists.
Like, people complain about Maelstrom Wonder, who is, in his own right, a very, very terrifying commander. And this card is just so much worse. And I think, to your credit about Vivi, you could have split this card down the middle, and it said all legendary creatures get +X/+X, where X is the number of legends in control, as a card by itself, and it would have been good. Or the Cascade effect, and it would have been good. The fact that he has both is absurd. Absurd. I never want to see this card on a table anymore.
Neither do I. I hate it. Every time I've seen it, like people are like, "Oh, but I can run any tribal I want." Fuck you.
No, it's not even that. It's you're just playing legends and you're dumping them.
People
and
are like, "Oh, mine's just demons." I've seen plenty of people at LGS are like, "Oh, mine's just demons."
I don't care. If you want to play a demon deck, go play Morophon. Seriously,
it's just that. No, I agree. This card's too strong for what it does. The fact that it just gives +X/+X is. Just,
I would sooner rather see a Najeela or even a Golos than this card. I'm not kidding.
Najeela's
and maybe that's just personal hate, but like this card is just so fucked.
I agree. Next,
I want to say if you do have a Jodah deck and you're playing this card, welcome to playing Commander. I know this is probably like your second or third deck. I hope you guys are subscribed and hit the bell. And I'm talking very slowly on purpose. I'm kidding.
Maybe you'll learn something.
Oko.
I think I put this here because people bitch about this card. It's just, he's a salt mine card. Yeah, people just don't like their commanders being shut down in a way that they can't cast them again.
What's the card? Kenris.
Kenris Transformation. What is it?
Imprison the Moon.
Well, Darksteel Mutation.
One of my new Amphibious Downpour is one of them too. One of my new Fey ones is Unable to Scream. There's people just get mad. I think the biggest reason though is the difference between that and a lot of those is those can be interacted with. Oko can't.
Yeah.
Once it's a 3/3 elk, it's a 3/3 elk. He is also notoriously tanky.
True.
Right? He comes down and I think he goes to what, like 6 loyalty?
I also think people hate looking at him.
What do you mean?
The same reason people don't like looking at Dryad Elysian Grove. Like, why is he so zesty?
I think that means people like looking at him.
No, the people playing it love it, but the people who have to now can't use the commander and they're looking at him are like,
it rubs the salt in the wound that they are just like these, hot boys.
Yeah, like tell me you're not Landscreed and someone has a Dryad at Elysian Grove and you're just like, I hate you even more now.
Next one is here for the meme. Roaming Throne.
This has the Mox problem in that I don't think that like if your card can even use it, your deck can even use it a little bit. You should run it if you have the space.
Yeah, I don't think if your commander has triggered abilities, it's probably okay to put it in. But you really do need to kind of commit to tribal. I think it is one of the best tribal cards that's come out in a long time. I think it absolutely should not have Ward 2, but I don't think this card even justifies being a game changer.
Yeah, I don't think it justifies being a game changer. I just think it's such a bland card. But it is good. At the end of the day, it is kind of just a harmonic a Panharmonicon with Ward 2 in a body. It would be targeted by 2 different types of removals. I want to put it in Freebirds right next to this guy.
If you're salty about a Roaming Throne, you're salty about the cards around it, not Roaming Throne.
Machine Mommy, kind of in the same bond.
This is a Salt Mines card because it gets close to the Dauthi Voidwalker problem, where it can completely shut out a strategy.
Yep.
Right. This card is such a good stacks card that I understand why people don't like it. Why they wouldn't want to see
it.
Yeah.
You're just on this Clive train, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Dude, it's fun. I'm first and foremost a gambling man, alright?
I could see some level of argument that this could be considered a game changer because how important ETBs have kind of become for that instantaneous value in Commander, but I personally don't think it goes
there. For me, the line that gets drawn for that, though, is that she does nothing on her. Well, she does do something on her. Never mind.
She shuts down your opponent's stuff.
Cut that out. Don't make me look dumb in the edit. Gilded Drake.
This
fine.
It is fine. I know what people are salty about this, and we have another one which is Feltake. I would at least put it in salt.
Yeah,
this is a salty card.
I've seen people play this and do nothing.
The point of this card is to take commanders.
No, I get it, but I've also watched. I play against a guy, hashtag, who runs his deck. It's Gray. He's played this card. He tries to take something, and then we never really does anything for him.
I don't know. And we have the nerf version too now, so it.
At least it gives you a creature. I'd rather this happen and have a 2/2 instead of just like, oh, by the way, what's Anguish Unmaking? Or just Shot. Because at the end of the day, yeah. Because most of the time, whatever commander they steal from you isn't going to synergize with that.
Well, it's more the fact that it's denying you the ability. Like, when your commander gets killed, you can play it again at some point.
Yeah.
When it's taken from you, it's like, you know, if it accidentally gets stuck in the graveyard or it's turned into an elk, right?
It's a skill
It's
issue.
not even. It's a non
skill issue.
It's a
Putting
non
your commander in the graveyard is a skill issue.
Abe.
I'm just rubbing it in for Abe.
Yeah, same. I don't know why. I get it, you're Marty, but you don't have Reanimate.
I think the funniest part to me was he had so many treasures, like of that smothering time.
I think this card doesn't deserve to be talked about unless you're also willing to talk about all of the cards that talk about any sort of theft.
Yeah.
Like, I think thieving is good.
Yeah, at least it gives you something.
This is the most egregious thief card, but yeah. Well, I don't know.
Perplexing Chimera.
No.
Because that steals on the stack.
But then it gives the person the Chimera to take... I was going to say Treachery is the only one I would put above this.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it is functionally free.
True.
Yeah. That was... I corrected myself.
Okay, Mr. Artifact Player, riddle me this. Why is Time Thief on here? I've only ever seen this card in EDH rec lists for Tivit.
So I think it's the ease in which it can create infinite turns.
Yeah. Imagine if he had this in Marchesa.
Yeah.
It would have been terrifying, right? Like, I think this is a solid card for the people who do get mad at this.
We should have had a card.
Actually, you know what? No, this is a why are you playing it in bracket 3?
That's fair.
Because it is the definition of a chaining extra turns card. Normally, it will be infinite turns if they are doing it right.
Yes.
But and I think that's where I'm like, I love this card. I love Time Thief combos. And I can basically never play it again. So I want to make the stipulation that if you take infinite turns, that's just an infinite combo and you're fine. Yeah. Just don't make it undeterministic. That's the only thing that pisses me off. But yeah, by definition, it goes in bracket 3. I miss my boy. I miss my boy.
All right, and this is my card I added.
Yeah, you added this.
What is this card?
Sire of Insanity.
Is this the Eldrazi?
Nope.
No.
Discard your whole hand on your upkeep. Every upkeep that player.
No, I think it's at the end of the turn, isn't it? At the beginning of each end step, each player discards their hand.
Even worse.
Yeah. So as soon as it gets to the end of the person's controlling this,
right then and there,
everybody discards their hands. And they're gonna keep doing it every turn.
This is freaking Armageddon Pass.
Yeah,
but honestly worse.
I want to say this is. I kind of want to say game changer.
No.
Well, it does drastically.
It's top of Salt Mine.
It is top of Salt Mine.
He is the king
or
of
are we
the
going
Salt
to say
Mine.
why is it in bracket 3?
No, you can play this in bracket 3.
It's not that weaponized in bracket 3. I can see in 4 and 5, it's like you can actually do something with it.
Nah, you know what? This card in conjunction with Waste Not goes so hard.
True.
Yeah.
You only get a good once. Waste Not's the strongest.
No, because you'll... Yeah. So the other one is like Bone Miser.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Because you can
only good the same turn you play.
Because Bone Miser has the potential to regas yourself as you keep going through.
True.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, I have actually played this card in a number of decks. I think it was in my Malphegor deck because it was a hell-bent deck.
Yeah.
The design was to go to 0 cards.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, you can do some really cool things that go, hey, buddy. Oh, okay, yeah, you don't like me. You'll lick me, but you won't let me pet you.
He's shy. He's very timid. But he's a good boy. He's got to be slow.
Hey.
All right.
We
did it.
Let's sort this up and call it a day.
Sort this up.
We kind of did it as we were going
along.
along.
This whole time.
Yeah, we've been putting along.
You guys literally paused to fucking fix it.
We didn't add anything new to should be a game changer. Everything that we talked about is questionable as a game changer and down.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just glad Kinnon's not the only thing in bracket 3 anymore.
Me too. I still stand on because I do want more land destruction cards. I don't want them to
Bracket 3 though.
Be stigmatized. I want them to be playable in bracket 3, and I don't want it to ruin the game for my friends that I am playing it with.
And I think that
I'll do you a favor then. I will build a land destruction deck then for our bracket.
Well, so I think here's the thing. I think things like Armageddon, Ravages of War, and Cataclysm are more okay. I think the ones that exile, like Obliterate, is not. Apocalypse is not, because they get rid of everything. Well, it's same thing. Upheaval too, right? And it's so weird to me that Upheaval is banned, but Apocalypse and Obliterate are not, because they are arguably worse. Because Upheaval you can use to win the game. Yeah. These are just fuck the board.
So I want you to know for the partner deck, I'm throwing in Armageddon, and at one point I will say Armageddon pass.
But if you have an Ishai out and she's huge, like that's a win condition.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just gonna beat us to death.
Yeah.
The what's it called? I do think like you should be able to give your own land drops like Strip Mine and be able to loop Strip Mine from the graveyard.
Yeah.
In bracket 3, I think that shit's cool.
That's a 3-card combo.
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
Azusa Strip Mine Crucible or Ramanup or whoever is great.
Yeah,
what do you think about Ramon's Lord Windgrace?
I never played against it.
Oh, that shit sucks. Juco Hops?
Yeah.
Oh.
Windgrace on the board? God damn it.
Well, Joko Hops is on the same level as Armageddon. It actually costs 2 more.
I know, but I also...
Doesn't it destroy artifacts too?
Yeah.
Do you guys have any problems with Freebirds?
No, I think all of those are fine. If anything, more cards should go there, but that's okay. I know. I'm unpopular opinions on my part.
I really thought we were going to put like Vivi above these guys and talk about these other commanders.
I tried to put Vivi in.
We talked about those other commanders in part 1.
Vivi on himself warps the color pie, does too much on his own, and is way too easy to get out and slots in way too many spots. He just is not.
I think just because as soon as that card came out, everyone was like, "I'm abusing the fuck out of this," or this card should never have been made. Or this card is going to get banned this next update.
This is a really interesting question, actually, to discuss if we're looping back on Vivi. Is Vivi as poorly designed as Nadu?
He's worse, honestly.
You think he's worse?
Actually, no. Nadu
is worse, but I don't know how many degrees Vivi is behind him.
I would say if they're not in the same realm, it's only one step.
There we go. That's his new tier. Cut this little boy in half.
Can we put Jodah in there too?
He's a full-grown man.
Put Nadu in there.
No,
Nadu is just banned. Nadu should just be banned.
We should all move on as a society.
And it's okay if then we can play Vivi in our channel.
No.
You're telling me it's okay to play Vivi?
No.
All right, one last scroll. I think we're good. Honestly, I think Craterhoof should maybe even be lower. I just think it's a boring card, honestly.
Well,
we're talking in the sense of
it's definitely not below Painter Servant. Painter Servant actually should go to the bottom at this point. That card does nothing by itself.
Listen, you can't be upset with Unreliable. Listen, nothing's wrong with a PB&J. It's boring as fuck, but it does its job.
Grilled cheese, baby.
Yeah,
grilled cheese.
Yeah, I'm calling it here.
Yeah, I think we're good. If you guys have anything you want to challenge us on, feel free to comment down below. I'll fight anybody any day.
Check us at the LGS. We're going to be doing a Devin versus 20 people.
Yeah, bring your mouth guard.
Are we actually?
Yeah, bring your mouth guard. I don't know.
I'm down. Like, don't get me wrong. Jubilee style.
If there's anything else you want us to talk about, we kind of came up with this topic on our own. We're hoping maybe one day you guys will talk back to us. No, that was really sad. To say. If you guys have any other things you would like us to talk about in the comments, leave them below. We have some other videos to fill out the podcast space. We're looking like once every 2 weeks, unless we can't find anything worthwhile to say. We don't want to waste your time.
I got one. Rating Planeswalker space and how much we'd want to lick their feet.
All right, bye guys.